Here's the deal. As you guys know, I covered Super Mega last week on stream for about 6 hours straight. I posted the edit for that VOD, which is on my channel right now. You guys can see it. It's like 3.5 hours long. I go over all the drama. So that's like the prelim to this. I messaged Destiny because I thought he might have an interesting perspective on this, and he was down to stream. So he's typing. He's ignoring me, chat. This guy. Dude, this guy. It's Mel time. The reason why I wanted to talk to him is just because I feel like he has a history of handling allegations pretty well, and I just wanted to tell him about the situation and see what he thought, because I have a feeling he knows nothing about Super Mega, and I kind of want to get him more invested in the normie YouTube drama. I'm gonna drag him in. I'm gonna get him prepped. I'm gonna butter him up, and then we're gonna dive deep with him into the world of YouTube drama. Yo,
okay, what do you want? What are we talking about,
dude? Listen, I'm sorry. I just need to red pill you, okay? I need to red pill you real quick.
On what?
Some normie YouTube drama you need to know about, okay? We need to talk about it. Your audience has been begging for it. Okay, so are you familiar with the YouTube channel Super Mega at all?
I feel like there was some drama, and I tried to read up on it, but I feel like there was so much I couldn't.
There is so much. Okay, I'm gonna pill you. Okay, so Super Mega, like popular channel run by these two guys. They're kind of like Game Grumps type dudes. They blew up just from like making just like Let's Plays, right? Pretty normal stuff. They kind of were edgier for a while. They were kind of in the sort of like come town, like the dirtbag leftist space, right? And then at some point they kind of drift more to like a socially progressive thing. They're in TikTok comments saying, "I'm so glad everyone in my audience is trans," and whatever. It's, you know, whatever. They're just being nice to their fans, right? They're progressive. They love trans people, much like myself. Sure. So that's cool. Okay.
I do love trans people. Hold on. I don't know if you're being ironic.
I'm not being ironic. I do like trans people.
Okay, that's good. I just don't like most ones on Twitter, but I like trans people. So
I like them on Twitter too. I'm not racist with my trans people. What do you mean you got, bro? Okay, anyway, let's go on. No, it's okay. Well, we're moving on. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Not confirming the allegations. Okay, so the deal is that they have this channel, and then this person comes out. This person's name is Lex Updog. I think she's an OnlyFans person. And she makes an accusation saying that their former channel artist named Dawn sexually assaulted her, and that Matt and Ryan helped cover it up, which is also not based. And she makes a 2-hour-long video of allegations.
Wait, just as a real quick thing, didn't all of this come out only because of like some other stupid shit? And it was like somebody got scammed or somebody didn't get paid enough, and people were like, oh, by the way, these guys like are.
So I think that the reason it came out is because I need to go back to the beginning. We're sidetracking.
Wait, hold on. I shouldn't have derailed. I'm sorry, but that was as soon as I started reading that too, I was like totally lost. It just seemed like the most retarded shit in the world. Because I was reading this thing like, wait, why doesn't this shit leak earlier? Why do these guys hold on to this until they got like kind of like a paycheck? But I don't know.
So
go ahead.
Yeah. So that's
catch us up. Yeah, hit us up.
Okay. So what happens is this girl makes this accusation. It's a 2-hour-long video as well as a twit longer statement. She says that Dawn sexually assaulted her. The specific claim is basically that they were alone in Matt Watson's house, who is one half of Super Mega. And at that point, Dawn starts pressuring her into giving him oral sex. She refuses. He says, I really want it. And she eventually gets broken down, right? It's not a physical, like forcing her, but it is like a clear, like coercion, right? That's her story, right?
I don't know if I would call that clear coercion, but
from her perspective, she's saying that she was coerced. She's clearly saying she was
wrong.
coerced.
She has the right to be wrong.
You're right.
Wait, hold on. Was this guy her boss or something?
No. It was just her boyfriend, I guess. Her boyfriend.
Okay. And then does she have a they were dating?
Not Matt Watson. She was dating this guy Dawn, and I believe one of the first times they met up was in Los Angeles. They then go to Matt Watson's house, at which point the alleged sexual assault takes place.
Okay. And is she mentally disabled at all that I should know about? Is she like an orphan? Is there like under somebody else's care or protection, or
she is not mentally disabled, no.
Okay. All right. Somebody in chat said that they didn't like your telling of the story, so let me tell the audience that this may not be accurate. But okay, go ahead.
Okay, well that's fair enough.
Somebody in chat said she said he was physically forcing her.
Okay, so he physically forced her once she was giving oral. I think she said that he physically forced her head like down really hard, and that made her very uncomfortable.
Okay.
I believe that's what happened. But anyway, so moving on from that.
Oh, wait, that's not good. You shouldn't do that, by the way. That's not cool. But like, is that coercion right? I don't know how to say that. But
okay. So the sexual assault thing is not something I really want to dispute that much, and the reason why is because I just feel like there's enough from the situation to kind of dissect, even without that being something that I want to disprove. So let's just say for the sake of argument, she got sexually assaulted by this Don guy, right?
Okay.
She then spends a long portion of this.
And then Don, to be clear, Don is one half of Super Mega, right?
No. Don is a channel artist for Super Mega, so he's not even half of it. He's a channel artist, right?
Oh, okay. Jesus. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Her subsequent claim is that Matt and Ryan from Super Mega didn't do anything to stop this guy from basically being employed. She said that she told them that he had assaulted her. They basically did nothing. They were like, whatever, you know, we don't really care. There's this one line she particularly cites where she says that she had a phone call with Matt, and Matt was like, oh, this is my magnum opus. I would never want to hurt my career just because this guy like sexually assaulted you. Like that's one claim she said.
Okay, I'm trying to keep with names. So she had a phone call with Matt. Matt is one half of Super Omega or whatever, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the guy that actually assaulted her, quote unquote, is a channel artist for Super Omega.
Name's Dawn.
And wait, she doesn't want to ruin her chances, or wait,
no.
That?
According to her, Matt had a call where Matt said, I don't want to ruin my chances with like my channel. I don't want to hurt my reputation. Super Mega's my magnum opus. So as a result, I'm not going to do anything about the situation. That's what her claim was, right? Basically. And that obviously was like, you know, it sounds like.
I don't understand that at all, but okay. Because I feel like, wouldn't the answer be, I don't want to take any chances. I'm just going to fire this guy so that I don't risk anything?
Right. So that's what I would naturally say, right? But according to her, that's what he said, right? We're just going over her retelling first, and then I'll bring you to their side. I'm basically just going through the public events right now, what we were told. So that happens. Okay. She also spends a long portion of this video outlining how basically she was living in the Super Mega office for a while. She's like, the office was really messy, which seems like kind of
what is her job again?
She didn't even really work for them. She was just friends with Matt because she was dating Don.
Why the fuck is she living in the and Don is the artist guy that assaulted her, right?
Don is the artist guy. Okay. So at some point she's
just living at the office. Why?
So I'm gonna go into this. At some point she was working for them a little bit. She was also friends with this person named Leighton, but at some point she stops really working for them and she's just living there, right? She's just living there. And it turns into this whole convoluted story about how she lives there and the office is messy. This video in and of itself, there's a lot you can criticize, but I want to get into where things get really messy for me with the details. Okay. And I think the reason why it got so messy is because there's just so many things to go over. Are you familiar with a channel known as Nick is Not Green?
Nope.
Nick is Not Green is
that a pretty big channel?
700K on 2 different channels. So one channel with 700, another channel with 700.
Videos before by this person? I'm not sure, but go ahead.
So he's a friend of Hassan, who's a friend of the show, fan of the show, as you know. They've done a lot of collabs together. They've caught some shit for some of the stuff they've said in those collabs, but more.
Oh, is the guy the soy curly haired guy that made the thing about banning Sneeko and how unacceptable it was?
Yes, that is the exact same guy. Okay. Oh, okay. So you see the page he's on. You see his swag, I think.
Oh yeah, I see his swag. Oh yeah, swag. I did.
Yeah. So the deal, the deal with him is he is friends with Lex, and he's also friends with.
Wait, Lex.
Lex is the female accuser.
I was thinking, yeah, okay. I thought it Lex Friedman. I got really confused. Okay, gotcha, Lex. Okay, gotcha.
So he's friends with the girl who's accusing, and he's also friends with her boyfriend. He's actually basically best friends with her boyfriend. They make content together. They have a band together called
she's best friends with her boyfriend.
Okay.
Whose boyfriend?
No. Her boyfriend is named Ethan. Ethan is another content.
Who's her? Her is not Lex.
Lex.
Wait, I thought Lex's boyfriend was Don, or is this a new boyfriend now?
So she breaks up with Don at some point.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'm jumping. So I forget you know literally nothing about this. I
don't know any of these people. Okay. So Lex breaks up with Don after the.
So after all the allegations, okay, we're gonna come back to the present. So in the present, her video comes out. In the present, her video comes out. She's not dating Don. She is now dating a guy named Ethan. Ethan is a content creator. He has a commentary channel, very similar to Nick's. And Nick and him, they make videos together. They make stuff together, and they're all this friend group.
Wait, and then which one is Nick again? Sorry. Nick, the green guy. Nick the green guy. Okay.
Curly-haired
progressive guy. Yeah. He made a video about my cracker stuff too. So him.
Did he?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that guy is.
That's what Chad is saying. So
okay.
My chat never lies.
So Nick, who keep in mind is a commentary channel. Who I mean, generally as a commentary channel, you're supposed to be like somewhat unbiased, cover allegations critically, use critical. You're supposed to, I would say, like you're ideal, perfect world, right? So this guy, he makes a video where he goes over Lex's allegation, and in the beginning he says, my whole point behind this video is to signal boost her story because I feel like she was assaulted, and he believes her. Okay, I think that's fine if he's her friend. There probably is a conflict of interest, there's a conflict of interest there journalistically. I would say, like, if you want to cover that, you need to really do your due diligence. And where that conflict of interest becomes super apparent is in the fact that half the video is not even about her sexual assault. Half the video is reading off a Reddit post with unsubstantiated claims, going over the idea that that the people in Super Mega cheat on their girlfriends. They joke about their dead friend. They have a joke in the office about Chuck E. Cheese where his middle name is the N-word. And half the fucking video is about unrelated shit. And in the beginning, he says the whole purpose of this video is to talk about the allegations from Lex. And then half the video is talking about other shit. So Matt and Ryan put forward these responses where they debunk a lot of what was said, and they cast a lot of doubt onto it. And they basically put forward the idea that this whole thing was kind of an op set forward to ruin their reputation and hurt them, and that, like, you know, Nick is not green is doing this very opportunistically. So Nick then he sees the response. He makes a Instagram story post saying, "It seems that the allegations have really gotten away from Lex's story." And it's like, I wonder why. I wonder why, Nick, because you made a video where half of it was saying that they basically that they or that they say the N-word or stuff like this, which is just like, even if they do that, like, who cares? Who fucking cares? Why is this related to anything? In this video, he's like showing that Matt Watson went to Creator Clash and he got punched out, right? And he's showing like, oh, I'm so glad this guy got punched out. I love seeing a defender get punched.
Wait. Who is Matt Watson?
Matt is half of Super Mega.
Oh, he's the other half.
Yes, I'm very sorry. You really,
okay, go ahead.
Dude, you're so old. Anyway, so basically, Nick.
Matt, the reason why he's calling Matt a defender is just because he didn't fire the Don guy.
He didn't fire him immediately. They did eventually fire him, and it was over that stuff. They just didn't fire him right away.
Okay.
So
interesting.
So at that point, the situation is kind of morphing. And as of the video from there's a video from Matt Watson that comes out that debunks a lot of this. Nick is not green is the only person who makes any kind of response, and his response is basically just to say like, yeah, I mean, I guess I included a lot of other stuff, but anyway, you guys are still pieces of shit. Basically, and his whole first video was fucking horrible, and like basically nobody's talking about it. Like the way he covered the allegations is totally irresponsible. He completely undermines what his stated original intent was, and on top of that, then you have like him and his friend group. This guy Ethan, who is dating Lex. Okay, this guy Ethan, he's another content creator. He's tweeting out from Matt's.
Is this the third boyfriend, or is this the second one that you mentioned before? Right?
This is the current boyfriend. Okay,
yeah, the current one. Okay,
the current one. He's tweeting out from Matt's Twitter likes. Matt likes this, like, have you seen The Sopranos? Have you seen The Sopranos? I imagine
I'm aware. I'm aware of it, yeah.
Okay, there's a scene where Tony's choking out a rat, right? And Matt just likes this, like, one of these like film Twitter accounts posted a frame of it. So Ethan's like, I can't believe you liked this, tough guy. You're clearly like trying to intimidate this girl. Like clearly the implication is that he's like liking this as like a message, like, you don't rat on me, I'm super mega. You can't rat on the fact that I covered up or whatever. And it's like, it's very clear to me that this entire allegation and like the timing it came out as well was basically an op to ruin these guys' channel, not as any kind of like, you know, genuine retelling of a assault that happened. And it's very like nope, just nobody's talking about it. A few people in the comments have, a few smaller channels have.
Well, isn't that like, when you say you can think no one's talking about it, isn't that your job? Aren't you like the commentary community people?
Yeah,
Shouldn't you be making videos on it?
So you raise an excellent point. So I did do like a 6-hour stream or so going over it, and I just uploaded that to my second channel actually. And I may do a main channel video. I'm kind of contemplating how I would go about that, but yeah, basically it's just it's a super situation, and I was hoping I could get you hook, line, and sinker with the Hassan connection and get you to like be somewhat interested in the situation and go over it on stream and just give your take, as I don't know, I just want to feel like I'm not crazy, and you seem like, I don't know, you've been relatively responsible with covering allegations, I would say, in the past.
Chud Logic's been talking about this and took a ton of heat from super mega stands. Turkey Tom was even on stream with Chud. Were you on stream talking with Chud?
Yeah, I did, yeah. So Chud opened when I talked to him with saying that Lex was a lying, and I mean, that is like,
wait, which one said Lex was lying?
Chud said that. Chud Logic.
Chud Logic. Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
And I mean, that's a very abrasive way to open, but his opinions were like relatively reasonable. He doesn't really believe.
Let's say that Lex was like, I guess, making it all up. What did she stand to gain from anything?
I mean, clout, a ton of support. You know, getting some kind of like, I don't know, catharsis from watching these people's channels suffer because she and her friend group are convinced that they're horrible people. Something I've neglected to mention up until this point is that these allegations, like all of this happened 2 years ago. Everything regarding the actual assault story, you know, quote unquote, or whatever, and Matt and Ryan supposedly covering it up and then, you know, going on to eventually fire him over it. All of that was years ago.
Okay.
Lex was cool with Matt and Ryan until very recently. As recently as January, she was saying she wanted to come to LA and have a barbecue with them. Okay, so clearly at that point she didn't think they were horrible people. Recently, this schizophrenic not literally schizophrenic. I think he has BPD though. This gay kid named Leighton.
Be careful when you say like schizophrenic BPD on my stream, because about 20% of the people who engage there actually are schizophrenic.
Okay.
BPD,
this kid does actually have BPD. I think diagnosed.
Okay,
gotcha. But he used to work for Super Mega. He was friends with Lex. He was friends with Nick. As far as I know, he was relatively recently fired, and they even gave him like a $20,000 stipend, which they didn't have to do, but they gave him 20 grand when he left. And he left because of poor performance as an employee, by the way. This guy starts making a bunch of unsubstantiated claims about Super Mega, saying that they're horrible people and that they're racist and that they're homophobic. He also claims that they harassed him. And the way they would do that, according to him, was that they would just like pull their dick out. So in Matt Watson's response, he shows an instance where during a podcast they recorded, that same kid that accused him of that apparently was hardcore projecting, because they literally have a video of him coming out into the open with his dick out when they're on the podcast doing the same thing.
Okay.
And Lex is friends with this person, keep in mind. So
okay.
So Lex is cool with them up until very recently. She was trying to have a barbecue with Matt and Ryan, and then Leighton gets fired, and suddenly things start falling apart, and everyone's mad at them and calling them horrible people.
Leighton is the boy, right?
Leighton is the boy, yeah.
Okay,
it all just, to me, it comes across like a real op. Everyone's fine with Matt and Ryan until very recently. Lex is trying to have a barbecue with them in like January, and then all of a sudden they've covered up a sexual assault. All of a sudden they're homophobic, they're racist, which is obviously in the same ballpark as that, right? Everyone needs to say that. Saying Chucky N-word cheese is in the same ballpark as covering up a or something.
Yeah, they're
like
probably
that.
Trump and Tate supporters too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
No, exactly. So it's totally wild. And I mean, on one hand, you can, maybe place a little bit of blame on Matt and Ryan for having accumulated this like totally parasocial audience that was ready to eat them alive over like finding out that they cheat on their girlfriend. I don't know who really cares about that, but it's just this giant mess, and nobody has really repented for it. Nick did make a response video where he kind of tepidly walked back a little bit of what he said, but not really. It was very half-assed in a way that he didn't really take responsibility for it. He basically maintained that he was right the whole time. Lex has been completely silent apart from making a statement saying she's glad she was heard. Keep in mind, in Matt's video, he calls her like a liar multiple times basically, and like shows contradictions, and he's like, why even bring this up now considering the fact you were cool with me until very recently? And she just has totally ignored that. So I don't know. Wow. It seems very sketchy wetchy to me. I don't know. And it seems like the people involved really just want to move on, and I mean, like, it's not really my fight, so maybe I should, but it's on my mind a lot, honestly.
That Leighton guy claimed that Ryan misgenders his partner, then made an apology because the partner identifies as gender fluid, so Ryan wasn't misgendering them, and Leighton was assuming.
So Leighton was misgendering them in the accusation of accusing they were misgendering someone. Isn't that crazy? And that's the only thing they responded to, by the way. Afterwards, Leighton did apologize for the misgendering, which, keep in mind, came from an accusation from them of Matt misgendering their partner, or Ryan misgendering their partner. And Leighton has not responded to any other claims, which by the way, Leighton, I think, is like a pathological, like, crazy liar.
Jesus.
And is the whole impetus behind all of this starting. Like, it truly is. Nobody's disavowed like the provable lies that they said from Lex's camp. It's super crazy. Like, it's super crazy.
Super mega crazy, one might say.
Dude, I fucking regret. Never mind. No, I just made that all
Anything
up.
else?
Don't worry about what I said. No, but yeah, it's like a super just insane situation. I was hoping I could get you to react to the shortest video about it on stream. It's only half an hour long, and I was hoping that I could get you to watch this and give your take. I have a feeling you're going to rage at it, which may be bad for your own mental health, but the chat would probably love it.
Is it your video?
No. It's by Nick. It's not my video.
I feel like there's a thing where if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to have to like deep dive into this because I'm going to have to start fact-checking a lot of claims, no? Like, am I going to rage at it without, I didn't know any of these people.
To be honest,
like
there's
5 minutes ago.
You can rage without even fact-checking because it's a blatantly like just bad video.
Okay, link me.
Okay.
I'll watch it for a little bit, okay?
Okay, buddy. Titled Super Mega is full of horrible people.
Following content may contain suicide or topics of self.
Yeah, so the reason that's in there is because there was one claim that here's some more lore dump context. Super Mega used to be another YouTube channel which had 3 members. It was Matt, Ryan, and another member. That member ended up killing himself quite a while ago. And one of the claims was that they would make fun of his death in private all the time, which, I mean, I feel like considering it's their friend, it's kind of their right to do that and deal with that situation.
Yeah, why do people do that shit with me too? My best friend killed himself when he was like 2021, and I make jokes about it as well. Like, I don't understand why people think they have a right to like intervene on your potential like style of humor or whatever relating to if it's your dead friend. Like, Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
I always think it's really cringe about it, but whatever.
But I think that they were really the accusers were really pandering to the fans because the fans feel very sad about that guy's death to this day. So they were like trying to get like the fans on their side, and I mean, to their credit, it worked. But
all right, well, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna watch this 36-minute video, or until I get bored. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Good luck, buddy. Have a good one.
Love you.
He loves me? Yo, that's crazy. He loves me. I need to see his reactions to the video. We're gonna have Tom react to Destiny, react to the video. Okay. Oh, he's still on the call for some reason.
Online, and she's also the partner of one of my very good friends. Ethan is online, and that's kind of how I first began.
Dude, this game is so loud. This game, bro.
So today's story has to do with a YouTube channel by the name of Super Mega, who is kind of in the circle of YouTubers that a lot of you probably know. And if you don't remember Matt and Ryan, you might remember them from the first Creator Clash. where they both had the beaten out of them.
Wow.
And on Thursday, Lex, who was a former friend of Super Mega that started working with them a couple years ago through making art for their thumbnails, came out with a video over 2 hours long that detailed her experience with Matt Watson and Ryan McGee from the YouTube channel Super Mega. This also included experiences with multiple employees that were hired by Super Mega, including another channel artist by the name of Don and a producer that worked closely with them by the name of Jim. Now, above anything else that we're talking about in today's video, my main objective for this video is to lift up Lex's voice and allow her to be heard about something that she felt unsafe talking about for a very long time.
So brave.
I urge you guys to watch her video and hear out what she has to say so you can know just how gross the details of this story are. There's a lot of sensitive information in this video that it would be very hard for really anybody to talk about, and just
we're gonna be even harder listening to it. Whoa, yeah.
Despite that, Lex was able to talk about a lot of personal experiences that really should never need to be this public. But unfortunately, because of the actions of some pretty horrible people, she has decided to come forward and talk about everything that happened. So about 2 years ago, Lex was in a long-distance relationship with Don, who was, again, another channel artist for Super Mega, and she met him for the first time in Los Angeles a couple of years ago. Don lived in Germany and Lex lived in Tennessee, but they made a trip.
Who joined?
Yo, it's me. I just want to say, notice how even at the beginning of this video, there's no, he never says allegation. That word allegation is not used once.
How did you get in here? Where am I right now?
Dude, you were just in my, you were still just in my call, so I just joined, yeah.
Wait, do you have perms for my Discord? Hold on.
I'm actually not even in it, but.
Why would you not be in the Destiny GG Discord?
Dude, I heard, never mind. I'll join. Let's go.
Okay, sorry, go. I'll give you perms later. Okay, what are you saying?
I was just saying, notice how none of this, nothing in this video was framed as an allegation.
An allegation.
Whatsoever. It's all framed as truth.
Well, right now, we haven't even gotten to anything controversial yet, have we?
I mean, you can.
He just said that they had a trip, they were at some place. I don't think he's even got to an allegation yet, has he?
No, but the entire video is framed like this happened for sure. 100%.
Well, spoiler alert. Okay, we're getting there. All right.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Also, let me in the server.
What do you mean let you in? Oh, hold on. Are you banned? Is that what you meant to say?
I'm not banned. I'm not banned. I just need an invite.
Turkey. What the f is your name? Do you like Thanksgiving a lot?
It's just Turkey Tom, bro.
No. I mean, like, why?
Oh, it's just I made my YouTube channel when I was like 13. It was my nickname at summer camp. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's just been that. Why is your name Destiny?
Because I made it when I was 9. I thought Destiny was a cool name.
Okay, well, when I was at summer camp, I had a turkey sandwich, and everyone had a name.
There you
and
go.
they were like turkey sandwich or turkey. Okay, well there you go.
Turkey Tom.
Now you know the origin.
That's all you had to say. Yeah, you. Like
and I do like Thanksgiving quite a bit, actually.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay,
right, bye.
Okay, is he actually gonna watch it now? Let's see. Let's see chat.
Boom, boom.
Dude, his chat is so cancer, dude.
I feel like I'm invisible to the world. When I had blue hair, I was like a main character.
He's depressed.
Like, people would see me walking the street like, "Oh my god, that's an anime." Women, especially black women, would be like, "Nice hair, bro," and I'd be like, "I am a main character." Now I'm just an NPC. Walking amongst the normies.
What's he doing, dude? Just watch the
Nobody
video.
gives a f about me anymore.
Just watch the fucking video, bro.
Christ. Only 2:44 into this video.
And that first night, Don sexually assaulted Lex.
Especially this particular situation, I was like, no, I don't want to.
I'm not going to say anything. I am going to say something. Be careful. Fringe is always a warning flag, guys. That does count as a red flag. Be careful, okay? Always be careful.
Lex.
Especially this particular situation, I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do this. And he kept telling me, like, just do it. And, like, multiple times, well, he was, like, trying to force my head down. And he's, like, way bigger than me. I don't know. I was really freaked out after that. So,
okay. God damn it. Hold up.
Eventually he let me go, but I just kind of shut down and just went with like whatever else he wanted.
Is the original video cut like this, or is Green is not Nick making these cuts? That's really important.
Good question. I don't know. I don't know
that night.
Even after this situation, Don.
Because if he cut that video, what I just heard was a small girl was in a room with a guy who was physically forcing her and her mouth. That's what I just heard, okay? Now, was the original video like that, or was that cut to sound that way? I'm super curious. Somebody link me the original.
Okay, bro.
Full vid here. Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
Have you ever kept a secret for someone else that you didn't need to? If you haven't, don't do that. But if you have, I know what that's like now. For the past year and a half.
Tom, you wanted this? True, it is, dude. He's actually in. I got him in.
Don, assaulted me. He like physically was like forcing me, like attempting to physically force me to give him oral. And the only reason why it didn't work was because I like pushed him away multiple times. When in a long distance relationship with someone, you have to get to know someone. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty direct person, and aside from what the situation is.
Okay,
like,
we went from physically forced me to tried to physically force me, which means didn't physically force you, kind of, because I mean, like, assuming this guy's way bigger than you, what does that mean? Like, sorry. Stop. Hold on.
We're starting
I've been really negatively primed against this story already. Let me rewind. Rewind. I need to get Myron's soundboard, okay? Rewind, okay?
Bro.
Sorry. I think I've already been like really negatively primed. Okay, let's listen to this again. Hold on.
Attempting to physically force me to give him oral, and the only reason why it didn't work was because I like physically like pushed him away multiple times. When you're in a long distance relationship with someone, you have to get to know someone. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty direct person, and aside from what the situation is like turned me into, I guess I feel like when this happened, I was like, especially this particular situation.
Okay, hold on. How long ago did this happen? So she didn't even actually blow him, and she's still crying about it. Is that insensitive? Do I sound like a psychopath saying that? Was this 2 years ago?
I think what she said is he was forcing me to the point that I eventually just did what he wanted. I think that's what she said. So I think technically she did blow him. Just saying.
Like, no, I don't want to.
Or did she blow him? I can't tell. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll get there.
And he kept telling me, like, just do it. And, like, multiple times while he was, like, trying to force my head down. And he's, like, way bigger than me. I don't know. I was really freaked out after that. So, eventually he let me go. But, I just kind of shut down and just went with...
Eventually he let me go. Bro, were you locked in the basement?
Like, whatever else he wanted that night, and like for the rest of the trip, I didn't.
Thank you, Connor, for the dono.
Kind of shut down and just went with like whatever else he wanted that night, and like for the rest of the trip, I didn't know what to do in that situation. Calling the cops is like what someone would say, right? But like it's a guy from Germany. How is that gonna work? Like I know that he can go to jail, but like actually like getting someone in trouble would just be a whole like thing. I didn't want to deal with that, and it was at my friend's house, and I was scared that like somebody may have like would like find his address or something if I like called. Like I don't know. All these were just thoughts like after too, because in the moment I was just like I kind of just shut down. I was freaked out. I remember after.
It's like, make sure... I'm sorry. Like, make sure you do every possible thing except say no or stop. If you are listening...
I think I got him in.
4% female audience, okay? If you're ever with a guy and he's making you uncomfortable, whatever you do, okay? These are, like, the potential ways to avoid getting assaulted, okay? Number one is... shake your head back and forth playfully. Say, no, haha, but give a little giggle to say you're kind of uncomfortable. Pull back a little bit, but not like you're actually afraid, but more like you're kind of like teasing a cat. Make sure to ultimately go along with whatever they want. Make sure at some point that you shut down and continue to do whatever they want. Just whatever you do, never, ever, 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 never, ever, don't ever say no or stop, because they will kill you, okay? So just whatever you're doing, if you're ever in like a circumstance where you're like, you're not really comfortable going forward, just never, ever, ever say no or stop. That's just, don't ever do that. Why would you? Don't ever do that. There are like 52 other vague ways that you can navigate the situation that ultimately results in a ending up in some part of your body. Don't ever just say no or stop. Never do that.
This is going to be taken out of context horribly.
I like went with
so I was going to clip that.
He like choked me on my windpipe. Like he was like trying to choke me in a sexy way, but he was like choking me, and I was like breathing like very audibly, like not well. And
that's what choking means. Yeah.
I think at this point I was too scared to like say anything. And
for days? Are you Stockholm syndrome? How old is she? Is she 18 in this video? How old is this person?
Mace, I'm not in the Orbiters Club. Thanks for the 10 though, but I'm not in the Orbiters Club.
Is this a fucking Zodiac killer? How long does this guy have this poor woman under his thumb? Is she like chained to a fence post somewhere?
I didn't think he would listen because he just didn't before. So
well, it sounds like you didn't say no before. What do you mean you didn't listen before? You said he shut down. He's
going harder than I thought he would, bro.
Do whatever else he wanted instead.
Holy shit.
That again. Next day,
okay, yeah, I'll ban the guy. Sorry. I need more chat mods.
To live in the U.S. and since we were dating, he had for a while been hinting that like, it would be easier if we just got married for him to come live in the U.S. and it had been going on for.
She specifically said she said no multiple times.
I banned him.
Did she? That's not what I heard. We can go back and listen to the whole thing again because what I heard was her saying like, oh, I told him I wasn't comfortable or blah or something like. It didn't sound that clear to me, but I could have misheard. Like I said, I'm primed hardcore against the story, so maybe I misheard. We'll re-listen. Hold on.
Really being that close with him. The first night that we like say goodnight to everyone else at Matt's house, I think it was just Matt at this point.
Okay, well I'll just watch chat, dude. I'll just watch chat. moderate you
Physically
guys.
forced me to give him oral, and the only reason why it didn't work was because I like physically like pushed him away multiple times. When you're in a long distance relationship,
physically pushed him away multiple times. I don't understand why you wouldn't just say, why would you wouldn't say something? So that's already weird, but okay, we'll keep listening. Maybe she said no multiple times, others might have missed it, but okay.
With someone, you have to get to know someone. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty direct person, and aside from what the situation is like turned me into, I guess, but I feel like when this happened, I was like, especially this particular situation, I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And he kept telling me like, just do it, and like multiple times while he was like trying to force my head.
That like, this is ever like, no, I don't want to do this. Like, this is all like so vague at this point. Like, what were they talking earlier? And she said, I don't think I want to. Like,
pushed him away multiple times. When you're in a long distance relationship with someone, you have to get to know someone. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty direct person, and aside from what the situation is like turned me into, I guess, but I feel like when this happened, I was like, especially this particular situation, I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And he kept telling me like, just do it, and like multiple times while he was like trying to force my head down. And he's like way bigger than me. I don't know. I was really freaked out after that. So eventually he let me go, but I just kind of shut down and just went with like whatever else he wanted that night. And like for the rest of the trip, I didn't know what to do. And
no, that does not sound like firmly said no multiple times. That sounds like there was some stupid like vague bullshit going on. That's what it sounds to me. But hey, what am I? Apologist, so who cares about me?
Situation.
True.
Calling cops is like what someone would say, right? But like it's a guy from Germany. How is that gonna work? Like I know that they can go to jail, but like actually like getting someone in trouble would just be a whole big thing. I didn't want to deal with that, and it was at my friend's house, and I was scared that like somebody may have like would like find his address or something. If I like called, like, I don't know. All these were just thoughts like after too, because in the moment I was just like.
Wait, I'm really confused by what you mean. Yeah, sure. Let me say
Thanks
this.
for the
Let me give this piece of advice, okay? Or in non-ironic mode, okay? 99% of the time, Destiny. No, I don't want to do this. Twice in figures is absolutely no. Come on. Here's what I believe. Okay. No, actually, I'm sorry. I don't believe this. I know this to be true. Okay. I've already told you guys 70% of you are virgins. I don't care about most of your opinions. Okay. If you're with a guy, he's doing things that make you uncomfortable. Extricate. Remove yourself from the situation. Remove yourself from the situation. And say, hey, we're done. Okay. Not. I don't think I want to do this, or I don't know if I'm comfortable. Blah 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 blah. Don't do. Just leave. Just leave. The guy's making you uncomfortable. He's already a piece of shit. Fuck him. Leave him. Dump him, and get out of his life. Okay. Boom. Easy. Just like that. Not like, oh, for this particular situation, I don't think I want to. Blah blah. Don't do any vague shit, because the guy's already a fucking the guy's already probably a half. Why don't plant seeds in his mind like, oh no, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable, blah blah blah. Because what the guy hears when you say some shit like, I don't think I'm comfortable.
Was
good.
So what do you think of the call?
I tuned in slightly late, like maybe 3 minutes into it. But,
okay. Well, you didn't miss that much, because in the beginning he was just like, wait, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? So,
yeah. No, I could tell it was one of those things where Destiny literally had 0 frame, first of all, and second of all, he didn't give a for like the first 7 minutes. You know what I mean? Like he was literally just playing his game or whatever.
I think he was just letting me talk. I think he gave a he just like he was letting me give my explanation.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't have a ton of context for Destiny, so maybe I'm just interpreting like gamer brain as like him not really caring. But yeah, overall, I think you gave a pretty good like overview.
I will say I think I fucked up her description of what happened in the bedroom a little bit.
Yeah.
And I
don't know if I heard that part, but yeah, go on.
I think what I said was he was asking her verbally like, let me do it, and then she agreed to it, and then once it was happening, he pushed her head down too far. I think I mixed that up, because I think that's what Dawn had said, and I think she said something different from that, which I just saw. So I did kind of fuck that up, but I do want to make that clear on stream. I got that wrong. I was just
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, when I was live, I was just moving very fast, like just going fast, and I was trying to like catch him up to speed. So I did fuck up her description a little bit, but I mean that's clearly like, you know, out on the board now. People know what she said, right? He's watching it. So.
Yeah. My interpretation, I thought you were gonna go on and give like the full recap, like you were literally gonna talk to him about it, lay it out for him for like an hour or whatever. But if you were just going on there to kind of like goat him into kind of covering it in like a more exhaustive way, then you did your job.
The reason why I did that is because I feel like there's no better way to explain it than for him to just see it all. And I'm gonna miss stuff if I do like an hour-long dissection. Whereas if I tell him like the 20-minute synopsis, I can get him in the door. And now he's
okay. That won't.
He's calling a. So I think we won.
Yeah. Well.
You know.
Like, yeah, that's what I immediately saw right after he realized like, oh, I need all the context, you know what I mean? So I need to like go through everything. You could tell that, I don't know, he's saying it, but it's so true. Like you did prime him like to be like hypercritical. It's kind of interesting to see.
I mean, he should be. I feel like we need that perspective on this situation.
Yeah. I'm curious how much he really takes a look at like Nick is not Green's involvement, because obviously like Lex, I guess her releasing her video was the inciting incident or whatever.
I think
like,
he's
this all becoming.
I think he's going to. I did start him off with Nick's video, and then he watched Lex's. Now he's watching Lex's video. So after that, I assume he's gonna go back to Nick's video. They really all like. There's varying degrees of accountability, but for me, it's just like because of how involved Nick was with signal boosting all of it. I feel like
here's
he deserves a lot of criticism.
This has been my take kind of for a while. It's like I view it as Lex, even Leighton. Okay, those two, right? So
yeah.
Leighton being the gay dude who was an employee, got fired, was basically bitter, which is pretty fucking confirmed to be true. And then Lex, obviously, who Lex, by the way, I don't think you said it explicitly, but like Lex, her affiliation with Super Mega was that she was an artist that got commissioned by them sometimes to work on like merch and stuff.
She worked with them a little bit, but she wasn't like an employee, right?
No, yeah, she wasn't like a regular staple. Like Don was, I think, regularly doing thumbnails. He was a bit more of like a closer to an employee at least. But anyway, yeah, the thing is that I view it as like those two are civilians. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You can think that I'm kind of stupid for thinking that, but like I do measure people, or like I do critically analyze people a different way if I know that they're like amateurs or like literally.
Well, it's like Nick's whole job is talking about these situations.
That's exactly what I mean.
It's his entire thing.
Like to me, it's like I look so much more critically at the guy who literally on a daily basis gets 1 million fucking views and has to talk to 1 million people. That's a guy that I am viewing as someone who should be, way more responsible and careful.
I mean, it's like if you take your fucking car to a mechanic, like a real mechanic at the dealership, versus you take it to your fucking brother, like you're probably gonna be less mad if your brother fucks it up, right? Because your brother's it's not his fucking job. Like Nick is not Green for all intents and purposes has had an education in public affairs and like how these things work,
right? And
he still systematically failed this entire thing after years of this being his job.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, you were saying like obviously if it's his friend, and he made that clear that that's like his bias or whatever, that can make sense to an extent. Obviously, that still can diminish your.
My son is 12 years old. This sounds like 12-year-old
as a commentator, right? But like, I can still get that. But you were saying, I basically stated almost exactly what you said, where it's like, yeah, you trust your friend, and that makes sense. I can understand that. But then you basically take all of these other extra details from people that you don't know, aren't affiliated with. Like you literally did not even watch their own videos to see and critically analyze yourself. You're taking a Reddit post that summarizes them and actually interpreting them as fact. It's like mentally to me, that is like immediately I'm like, this is a suspect commentator. I don't know that I can trust this guy.
Agree. Yeah. And dude, he got so mad he left. He got so mad that he left the stream because he was like upset.
Destiny.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, sorry, bro. I'm not monitoring.
I know I got him, dude. I literally got him.
It's interesting because I don't know. I've just never really like seen this kind of a thing where it's like, bro, I'm gonna try and like literally like a fish, like luring in a fish. I'm gonna try to bait Destiny to cover this.
I told him that too. I was like, I want you to look at this because I knew that if he saw the videos, he would be mad. And also part of the reason I want him to do it is because he's 10 years older than both of us. He has like a ton of experience watching this happen. He's seen it like 100 times before. I don't know. That doesn't necessarily make his opinion more valid. No, but I want to see him cover it because I don't think he'd cover it in the way that everyone else would. Yeah. It is, and it's he's
coolest, the most insane, the most
he's yelling. He's yelling. We won.
Oh,
So we won. So I think we got him. Which is good because I want to interest him. I will say, people in chat saying I'm an orbiter now. I'm not an orbiter. I'm not one of the orbiters. Yeah. I will not be orbiting.
You have you're your own planet, bro.
Exactly. I'm my own planet, okay? I'm too famous to be an orbiter. I got more subs on my YouTube channel than Destiny does, okay? So listen, we're not going to be.
Yeah, that's facts actually, yeah.
Listen, I'm too famous. I'm too big. I'm too huge, okay? If he saw me at the gym, he would get mogged. So from that perspective, I think that we need to take into account the facts that maybe. Who knows? What do you think I did bad? Was there anything I fucked up?
If I'm going to critique you, as if you actually want to hear it,
I'd say go as hard as you can, just because I don't know. I want to do better next time.
I like that. So okay, you mentioned the Leighton guy. He got a stipend when he got fired of 20K. It was actually 12K if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh yeah, you messaged me. Okay,
like that's pretty doesn't really matter, but I don't know.
It's an important detail. I'll take that.
It's not like it was a massive fuck up. It was basically, though, in California, Super Mega wasn't legally obligated to give him that stipend, which basically is what do you call it? Like when you fire someone or whatever. I don't know.
It's like employee compensation or whatever.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yo, Chubbs is in chat. That's funny. What's up, buddy? Sorry, you can go.
They basically gave him that even though they, didn't have to. And it was like, usually you get 1 week's pay for every year you've been with them. And so they gave him instead like 3 months pay. So it was like still, obviously the stipend was.
I think they also said that like they had some issue where It was like not an official stipend. Like they were just gonna give him the money, then they had to like talk to a lawyer or something. So like there was something around
out
it.
of their way, basically, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
The Leighton guy, look, the Leighton guy deserves juice 100%. And I'll be real, like that was one of the most surreal experiences I've had of watching someone's like stream of allegations, because I was literally, bro, because I obviously covered the fucking thing on like I guess my clips channel, and basically like I realized while I was watching his thing, I was like, bro, I can't include this. Like there's just so much here, and I genuinely like half of it was him crying and talking about
Leighton's stream is like mental as fuck. Yeah, it's super mental.
Basically, yeah. And when he mentioned that he was bipolar, no joke, I genuinely had a moment where I was like, this seems manic as like, and it's not even as in to like write off what he's saying. It was just a thing where he was literally describing being almost in a manic episode, where he said, I was just hiking for 3 days and I couldn't sleep and I just needed to come here and just to start the stream. You know what I mean? So that's why when it comes to the Leighton guy, I genuinely have a degree of thinking like, bro, this guy is not as smart as people are making him out to be, like Chud Logic or whatever.
I mean, Leighton is an unreliable narrator. He's just crazy. I think like
that's exactly it. It's like when people say like it's an op or whatever the hell, or it's like a big scheme, bro. I think that it's way less the case that it's an op. The main thing that I've said is like this Leighton guy, absolutely not like, you know, not cool, whatever. He obviously was expressing a lot of negative sentiments towards Super Mega because he was fucking bitter that he got fired. That's bullshit. Doesn't deserve that. But the idea that like he was literally, he like colluded with all these people to like drop this all at the same time is way less, I would say, a reflection of what was probably the reality. In reality, I think if anything, he like poisoned the well, you know what I mean? So like the Leighton guy maybe would talk to people about his negative experience behind the scenes. He would drop all this info, all this details, and that's how, if you remember, Ethan is online.
To me, like Leighton is the key. Like he's the reason why it all came out, right? Because they were all cool. They were all cool with Super Mega until Leighton gets fired.
Right. So yes, and I get that thinking. I'm not convinced that Lex never would have come forward. I'm not really sure, but like in terms of other people, that's totally possible. But what I think is like he totally poisoned the well, but it's not like this was totally coordinated. I feel like
I don't think it was totally coordinated. Like let's destroy them, but I think that there was a level of coordination between them. I mean, Nick denies being friends with Leighton. Leighton says he is friends with Nick. So I mean, on one hand, like
Leighton said that.
Leighton said that in the video. He's like, "Thank you so much to Nick for being a great friend to me." Nick claims to never have communicated with Leighton.
No.
On one,
Nick,
I mean,
I've seen Nick state that he's hung out with him in social settings like a few times, but that's it.
Yeah, but on the same token, it's like it's hard to trust Leighton's judgment as to how much. But I mean, clearly, even if he didn't talk to Nick, Leighton talks to Ethan. Ethan talks to Nick. So you can just make the connection there.
Is that Ethan is online, which his role in this is just very odd, and it's kind of hard. Like, what the like he's dating Lex, like this. Oh man, this is a super I gotta say, like, this is such a fucking weird modern problem to dissect, bro, because it's like your girlfriend just came out with a public video basically, you know, making these allegations toward Super Mega, and his fucking reaction was to go on his own stream where he's a commentator himself and can do like the whole classic like Super Mega downfall stream, which if you were to try and explain that to your grandparents, bro, I think they might have a stroke.
I mean, explaining it to Destiny, he almost had a stroke.
Yeah, for real. And I feel like he might actually, this might be the last thing that Destiny ever covers, because
he could go until December with the amount of stuff to cover.
Because I'm telling you, if he's already this, you know, worked up about the just initial videos,
wait till he gets to all of Nick's video. Wait till he gets to Leighton's stream. Like, there's so much, and Chad is feeding him stuff too, because he hasn't covered it yet, and there's definitely people in his chat that are fiending.
Girls tend not to push boundaries as much.
Yeah, exactly. And wait till he finds out that Ethan had his own stream. Like, it's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
smoking weed. I feel like, dude, I'm considering sending that to him, but I feel like I don't even need to. I think he's gonna be fine.
You've done your job. Just like whatever. Like see what his opinion is. Like, that's kind of at the end of the day what you wanted, right? Was just to kind of see his opinion, and now you're getting that. So
I wanted to get foot in the door type thing. I do want to say I want to thank you for doing your video on this. I'll plug you a little bit in chat. I was interested in this situation, and I was like tacitly kind of invested watching it all go down. But our conversations and your clips are part of the reason I decided to actually delve into it and give a full take and give a full breakdown. And so I just appreciate you for doing that. I think that you've been doing a good job on your clip channel lately of talking about this stuff. So
thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you. And if you guys want to see this, let me see here. I'll link one of the videos in chat so you guys can see the channel. But Gokanaru has been covering this stuff quite a bit on his channel, so you guys can go check that out.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah,
it was weird for me because this was the first time, because I've been uploading to the clips channel, and most of my clips before this were basically like relatively unedited. But then when I reacted to this on stream and we like decided to make a clip of it, I realized like, holy fuck, this is a tangled web, and I really don't want to this up. And I was reacting to this, keep in mind, like I was basically trying to summarize Lex's video a day after it came out, so there wasn't any context for like Nick is not green, none of this stuff. I didn't have the hindsight basically, so it was a very different kind of vibe, and I was actually nervous about like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm covering this in a pretty objective, relatively fair way. And then when I saw Nick's video that he uploaded, he basically recorded his video the Friday night. Lex uploaded her thing on Thursday.
It seems like a very like midnight recorded video, to be honest.
Oh my god, bro, this is what blew my mind. Immediately I was like, no shot. Lex uploads her video on the Thursday. Nick records his video on the Friday night, which is the same time that I stream. But he uploads his fucking video Saturday like 2 p.m. or something. Basically like Saturday midday. And I'm like, holy shit,
he's on his grind, okay? He's on his grind. Listen, you can't keep up.
Bro, this guy grinds to the bone. But here's the thing, right? This guy is literally, he makes so many fucking videos covering bullshit. Nobody gives a fuck. TikTok dramas, calling everyone toxic piece of shit, whatever, which is fair enough. I don't know these situations, but like basically he is constantly used to handling situations where there are like allegations of people that he either doesn't know or doesn't care about. But when it comes to a situation like this, right, that's actually genuinely serious, and he's bringing a ton of eyeballs to a scenario that beforehand didn't exactly have that much attention, he doesn't have the frame, the critical thinking skills, the due diligence to actually shape a video that is fair, and at not even that it's fair, but at the very least isn't sloppy as you know what I mean?
It's I
gross in my opinion. Not just because like he believed Lex. I fully again understand why he would believe Lex, but it's like, bro, I don't even think that he succeeded in his original goal of just trying to help Lex. I don't think that bringing all of these eyeballs to this scenario, even in the slightest way, would help Lex when already her video had like 200,000 views and Matt and Ryan were preparing a response. He literally just brought more spectacle to the situation and made it so that when Matt and Ryan made the responses, there was a lot more people watching and a lot more people who wanted fucking blood.
And there was a lot more to dissect too, which is like, if Nick's original goal, let's say for the sake of argument that the sexual assault did happen, if that was his goal, then him including all this other shit allowed Matt and Ryan to, shit on a sexual assault victim, right? Like that's basically, like, from his perspective, that's how he should see it. Like, he allowed them to win optically because he gave them all this other shit. Now, keep in mind, this is for the sake of argument. I'm not saying Matt and Ryan did that. I'm not saying they did anything wrong with responding. I'm just saying, like, by Nick including all this other shit, he muddied the water. He, Leighton poisoned the well. Nick turned that well into a swimming pool that everyone got to enjoy,
No, for sure, yeah. And it's also, dude, this is what confuses the fuck out of me, right? Because again, I was trying to make my own situation thing, breaking it down, and he uploads it, his version. He records it Friday night, uploads it midday Saturday. He did not even watch the fucking streams of the other people before he stated the allegations. There was no reason for him to not watch those fucking streams. There was zero. Why?
He read the Reddit post, right? That's what he did.
But I'll explain. Why did he have to rush it out? The reason he wanted to rush it out is because he wanted to get his fucking video out before Super Mega posted the response.
Yeah.
So it's like way less about bringing eyes to Lex and way more about making sure what's in his mind,
or just he wanted to be the first of the topic, right?
That's what I thought. Yeah, he wanted to.
He wanted to have that early, like, because the first one of the topic, if it's a good video and you're from a big channel, good video. If it's a compelling video and it's from a big channel, it's probably going to draw the most eyes, right? So he wanted to get there, and I mean, he got his 700, 800,000 view video, right?
Right. What? And look, I can see his frame, right? Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, in reality, the vast majority of people delude themselves, no matter what they're doing, no matter how they're behaving, whatever. In reality, Nick totally thought that he was doing the right thing, and I believe that he believes that he was trying to help his friend, okay? In reality, though, I don't think that was what manifested, okay? I don't think that what he did was...
The path to hell is paved with good intentions.
Well, yeah, but it's like beyond that. I can see the frame where it's like he wanted to maybe be the first to make a video about it, so that he could frame the situation in like this hostile way more so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I guess he could rally support behind Lex before the Super Mega video, so that when the Super Mega video comes out, people will be very critical of them or whatever. Like there's ways that I could see why he would want to do this and think it's like justifying it for Lex. But again, in effect, I just feel like if you are
like,
going, especially if you are,
we should just let 12-year-olds
fuck. Which, by the way, if I am making a video trying to defend my fucking friend or trying to amplify their message, I'm going to be extremely careful because I do not want to fuck over my friends. I've seen enough situations online where people, especially people who are making allegations that are technically unsubstantiated, get absolutely fucking roasted and toasted, and I would absolutely not want that to happen to my friends. So I'd be super fucking careful and cautious. And that's not what I saw from my boy Nick here.
No, he effed up. He fumbled the bag, so to speak. He really fumbled it.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally a reflection of him just like having content brain too, bro. Like, you do understand this guy has an unreal amount of shit going on. Like, I was actually genuinely amazed when I found out that this guy has at the very least 3 commentary channels. There's Nick is not Green, Green is not Nick, and then there's a new one that I found which is like He is not here or some shit like that. And no joke, they're all almost identical. They're all commentary channels. I don't understand.
That's the thing I don't understand. Like, why not just post to the same channel? Like, if you're making the same thing.
I don't get it. Maybe the idea was that like one's good quality, one's mid, and one's shit, but they're all shit.
And he has a brother? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and there's a brother who just
that looks like him.
Yeah, and he has a band which he's in the band with what's his name? Ethan is online, and I believe there's a girl, I forget her name right now. But
I mean, he can do the thing, like he can do whatever he wants. I just have a hard time understanding how he like differentiates the content, because like on the surface it just seems like it's all just the same, you know?
Well, that's kind of, yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. I think that Green is not Nick also outgrew Nick is not Green, which is just like,
I think it outgrew it, and he just does it more because it's like it's a lower effort kind of channel, which I don't really blame him, because I feel like his main channel, like, it wasn't getting that many views, and it was just like it was taking too much effort. He tried to do like the Eddie Burback thing, and nobody really gave a fuck because he just wasn't that entertaining. So he just went back to doing like the basic like commentary response video.
Drama sludge,
which
content
is blowing up. I mean, he's absolutely killing it at that, to his credit. I mean,
no, he is Nick is not Green, Nick is not gaming, he said us, Nick is not streams, Queef Jerky.
They also they also have a band. Queef Jerky's like a band or something, like.
Yeah, I listen to their music. It's very like, I don't know, it's very specific, but like it sounds interesting. I don't know.
I don't want to expose myself to their music. I just don't want to.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it's like semi meme kind of fucking punk, but not really. I don't know how to describe it.
But like, what do these guys even find funny?
Are you asking what their sense of humor are?
Yeah, like it's like ironic. Like, okay, where's the sense of humor? Like, where's the irony derived from? Like, what is?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really watch these kinds of people.
Fair enough. Yeah, their swag is just different, but that's okay. Listen.
Yeah, different swag.
Different swag for different people wearing drag.
The one comment that rubbed me the weirdest way in Nick's response to Super Mega was the shit he said, where it's like, you know, I have a job. You know, I can't just upload trucker.
Dude, yeah. What was that? Like, as if you make commentary videos, you fucker.
Bro, it was one of those moments where I wanted to proverbially just like smack him in the fucking head. Like, bro, like wake up. What are you saying? You literally make fucking TikTok drama gush, and you literally, it's not even like guy. It's not even like he takes pride in it. He literally intros his videos as like, "Hey guys, I got fucking dog shit to feed you today." Oh yeah, it's like, bro, if you could be making money playing Trucker Simulator, you would be. Okay, if
he literally tries to. He has a gaming channel, but nobody watches it because they don't care about him, dude. They just care about the fucking drama, which is fine. Nobody really cares about me either. People just care about the shit I talk about. That's fine. I've accepted that mentally, but you know, you need to.
You can't accept that, man.
Dude, this is just such a like. It's like, dude, they play video games for a living. Like, dude, what? I think playing video games for a living, if you can do that successfully, to me is higher brow, honestly.
100%, bro. Because as a general rule, especially if you're playing Trucker Simulator, that is a true testament to the fact that people are there for you, not fucking whatever.
If you can hold people playing that dumbass, terrible, shitty fucking game that nobody cares about, like literally, like, you won. Versus like, you know, Nick, who like has to talk about other people's lives for his content, whereas Super Mega is just successful based on their lives. And it's like, I don't care. Like, I'm a commentary channel too. You are. Like, we talk about other people's shit. Like, that's fine. But it just seems like it seems very conceited and dumb. And it was a one point in the video where I realized like half of this is just because like you don't like their content or sense of humor. Like, half of why you made this video. Because in the fucking video, he's saying shit like, oh, their content's not that good. Like, you're not even like funny. Like it's stuff like that is just like, it didn't belong anywhere.
it really, to me, exposed the fact that like a lot of these people who cover bullshit drama, sludge content or whatever are really just fucking actually pretty cynical, awful, kind of uninteresting people. Like, I understand that's, I guess, a bit rich coming from fucking us or me or whatever, but you know, it's like, bruh, like, I don't know. It's to me, it's fucking weird. It's like a self-report in a way. Like he got so defensive off of, and here's the thing that he should appreciate more is that Matt barely called him out. Like he got the lightest slap on the ass or the wrist, whatever, that you could possibly.
That's why I was so surprised that like he didn't appreciate the gravity of that, because then his response was just to like very tepidly be like, you know, I really think maybe I shouldn't have included that, I guess. Like, you know, I don't know, it's like kind of bad. Like he really didn't feel the need to apologize. And I think the reason why is because he thought like, well, if he's not going to talk about it, no one will, you know?
Right. Yeah, and it's one of those things too where he basically like, I don't know, he just was very like peeved about the whole you know, the association with like Leighton, you know what I mean? Like you could tell, and it was almost, look, I'm not sure exactly, but like it almost felt a little bit compensating-esque, where he was like constantly bringing it back to like, you think that I fucking would upload a video because of the Leighton guy? It's like, no, you uploaded the video because the Leighton guy might have poisoned the ear of Ethan is online, Lex, and that Morpie girl, because he's friends with all three of those people.
I think
and then those three people poisoned your fucking ear. Or, well, again, with Lex, I don't say poison, but like, you know what I mean?
I think the way I find that someone is like maybe lying a little bit or like doesn't want to give the full truth is when their response to like a steel man argument is to give a straw man that's like the most exaggerated possible fucking thing, which is what he did. He's like, you think just because of Leighton, like I made this video, like I just like wanted to like ruin everything, and like, you know, like Leighton's like the whole reason everything, like, and it's just like a cover, and like that's why Lex made this story, and it's like it's more nuanced than that, obviously.
Like, yeah, well, like, here's what I'll say. Ethan, the Ethan guy, he has every reason to hate Super Mega, even though I think going on stream and all that was extremely odd and just, like,
the weed
odd.
stream,
like,
right?
Bro, like, I'm not gonna cap. There was a moment when I saw that, I was like, how the fuck are you so stupid to not see how this could look, man? You're fucking stupid. Like,
well, I think they were in their head. I think it was just like total hubris. It was like, we won. You know, I'm with Lex now. She's saved from the Reaper. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, basically my opinion is that I think Matt was telling completely the truth when he said he's never dropped slurs in front of Ethan is online, because that was a claim that Ethan is online made on Twitter.
You think Matt's telling the truth?
Yes, I think that's the truth, that Matt is telling the truth when he says that. That's my opinion, though. But
dude, if Ethan met me, it would be a horrible. It would be terrible. There'd be a lot of stories.
No, but I think that what happened though is that the Leighton guy, who again is, you know, privy, yeah, it seems like he's very eager, or like was eager to basically lie or exaggerate stuff. That Leighton guy poisoned Ethan's ear, and Ethan was all too receptive to it, because obviously he's dating Lex, so he's already ready to fucking hate Super Mega. Fuck them, you know what I mean? Right. But like the Leighton guy said, yeah, Super Mega says the M word, Super Mega says the F or whatever, and then the Ethan guy was like, you know what, fuck it, like fuck these guys, I'll gladly lie about hearing whatever from them because they deserve zero charitability. You know what I mean?
You think? Yeah.
So that's where I could see it coming back to Leighton.
The only reason why I would somewhat buy that maybe they said slurs, we don't have proof, but let's just say hypothetically, is because they did used to on their YouTube channel, like, you know, 5-6 years ago. They were more like, they were trying to be more of like a Cumtown thing, and they've kind of transitioned since then to try to be more like, I don't know, the Stav side of Cumtown rather than the Nick Mullen side of that. If you're familiar with that podcast, it'll make sense. But
I know what you mean, yeah.
Just be like more socially conscious, like they're just trying to be nice guys, and you know, whatever.
Yeah.
They have the same aesthetic as Ethan is online and Nick is not green, which I think is probably why the allegation was like kind of able to go so far, because they all are from the same kind of like crowd of people. Like there's like the people that watch. The people that watch Super Mega, if they were to watch a commentary channel, it would probably be Nick is not green.
Okay, I could see that. Look, I haven't been super familiar with Super Mega, but one of my brothers is a big fan of Super Mega, and he is definitely not the type of guy to watch Nick is not green, so I don't know. But maybe.
Well, he may be an older fan than a newer fan.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably right. Yeah, Super Mega, I get what you're saying with the Stavros versus like Nick Mullen kind of vibe. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. Overall though, like just a fucking weird kind of shit situation, eh?
Yeah, I'm not watching Destiny's coverage anymore. I'm playing SpongeBob, but I'm hoping that I can get just some time to like watch his whole thing. The goal really is for him to dissect it all, just like go through the entire thing. I think maybe there's a potential of that, but yeah, I really want to get his take, and I want to see what his fans think, because I feel like they're one of the more critical kind of audiences on the internet as far as that kind of stuff, and he's someone who's, I think, willing to say stuff that other people probably wouldn't say.
Yeah, you can tell he has a lot less discretion.
yeah, I would say so, and that's why I think that's what makes him like popular, what makes him work. So there's a reason why. Yeah, I mean,
wait, are you saying that people don't like Destiny for his fucking political opinions?
No, they do, but it's because his opinions are fucking, you know, some, like, he's willing to say things other people won't. He's willing to argue with Hassan. Did you know that Hassan and Vosh both got famous because of him? Did you know that?
I believe it, like they were orbiters or something.
Yeah, they were literally orbiters, dude.
Yeah, I remember. I just remember that there was like a debate where Destiny and Hassan, they were against Nick Fuentes or something like that. The thing here's the thing, right? I stream in a bit of a different way, where it's like I just stream once a week and it's kind of its own show or whatever. But like if you're trying to be like a daily streamer, if you're on that grind, which is a fucking grind, then I wouldn't want to do that. It is entirely extremely dependent on fucking social climbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've noticed that.
It's
especially if you exist within like one of these sites. I think on YouTube we feel more disconnected, but if you're on Twitch, it like literally like half the way people got famous is by being friends with someone else, you know?
Yeah, no, dude, it's literally facts, and it does. You oftentimes see it where like the acquiescence or like the fucking synergy of a couple of people just like blows them through the roof. You know what I mean? Like with Dream SMP guys, like all of those guys like fucking puke into each other's mouths, and that elevates, you know, their audiences somehow massively. You see it, like that's why a lot of YouTubers and like streamers, they start these like fucking groups, like what is it, Offline TV, fucking Mizkif's OTK.
Yeah, all of that's like the peak social climbing, because it's so transparent. That's what I mean.
Too. Like they understand that having like this fucking ecosystem where they interact with other people just creates like a positive feedback loop. So Tom, what I'm saying is that we need to start puking into each other's mouths, man. What the fuck is we're missing
honestly, I've been thinking about that recently. I think we do, and I'm honestly cool with that. I'll accept a little vomit from my old buddy. But
I'm glad to hear it, bro.
Augie's community, it took some hits because like I feel like every 6 months they had like an exodus of someone that was like from the community. Like it was John Swan, and John Swan kind of started the trend of just like every few months there would be someone leaving that gets kicked out for being retarded in one way or another. And at this point I think they've cleansed pretty much everyone that like could have been. And so we're kind of back to square one, where it's like it's Augie, me. Oblex doesn't come on as often, but him, Nick Diorio, and that's really it. And they're kind of looking for new people to bring into the fold.
It's tiny.
It's tiny, dude. Chud Logic is one personality that's kind of floating around a little bit, and I don't know. Maybe I'll try to rope you in there and get you fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about Chud Logic, but like, dude, those thumbnails, bro. Like, I know he said it was like kind of a joke or whatever, or like his editor is like a racist or whatever, so like, you know, it's not up to
his
him.
editor just like he just lets the editor do whatever he wants, I think. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's a level of like not giving a fuck that's almost like too reckless to me. It's just like I don't know, it's a bit weird, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly, you know, fucking be curious to learn a little bit more about him and just at least fucking see him, whatever.
He's a guy who I think he comes across abrasive just for the sake of kind of getting clicks. So once you talk to him, it's hard to disagree with a lot of what he says.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I like him. I think he's cool. We had a good conversation. I got a decent amount of shit from his chat, but I don't know. Me and him, they
like
wanted me
being fucking soy for not like
for being cucked, yeah, for not going which I feel like is dumb, but whatever. That's okay.
That is dumb, yeah.
At least, yeah, it's whatever. I'd rather be soy than wrong, I guess.
Like, if there's any fucking topics that you should be a centrist on, I feel like allegations with people that you don't know on the internet would be the thing. You know what I mean? Like, have opinion on everything fucking else, but like with allegations, I don't know. It just, I feel like I wouldn't shame.
Well, especially with me as someone who's gotten shit in the past for, you know, people think I have covered shit like wrong. So obviously I'm gonna be like extra careful, like 1000.
Yeah, you should be like
1000%.
No, exactly. Like you should be trying to learn over time, and so it's like a guy like Chud, where it seems like it's not that he's trying to learn, it's like he's actually trying to fucking like, you know, kind of juice the controversy when it's like related to allegations. I don't know, I'm a little bit sus, but like whatever, you know, I can talk to anybody, bro.
Yeah, but I like him. It was a really good conversation, honestly. It was.
Yeah, like once he's like actually just explaining his opinion, that makes sense.
Yeah. What else have you been looking into recently? You looked into the Linus stuff. I know that. What was your thoughts on all of that, like kind of big picture?
Big picture of the Linus situation. Okay, one sec. Let me just run through like all these details in my brain. Yeah, okay. I think that Linus Tech Tips is a little bit of a megalomaniac. Okay, not even basing that on the alleged.
What do you mean by
HR
megalomaniac?
issues.
Like, what is that really?
I don't know. Like, I look. I'm just saying like. There's quotes of this guy basically saying, if they're not willing to, you know, basically accept very obvious criticism, then that should reflect how you know, feel about them or whatever. He's basically like, he's kind of said things like, you know, you should always try and like take criticism, whatever. And I do feel like in a lot of the ways that he handled the criticism that was levied at him, it was like super fucking defensive.
Okay.
Have you heard the leaked HR meeting or whatever?
I actually have not listened to that.
That might be something, I guess, semi-interesting for you to get into. It's not like, it's nothing. Look, it's nothing like that you can say and look at it and it's like, oh, this is an awful piece of shit guy. It's just a little bit sus, in my opinion. Where basically so I don't know exactly how much do you know about him? Like
Linus Tech Tips. I mean, I know his channel. He's a tech guy, probably the biggest on YouTube. He does a lot of like computer tests, like for, you know, how like fast they are or what their graphical potential is. They review a lot of computer related products. PCs are like the bread and butter of the channel, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about as much as I know about Linus, I guess. I've seen a few of his videos.
Okay. With the current like situation that's unfolding, do you know anything?
So I know that apparently they were doing reviews improperly and like they weren't performing tests properly. There was one where with like a mouse, they didn't take off like a little sticker that was on the bottom of it that basically like would like drastically change the performance of the mouse, and they gave it a poor review.
And then when they realized that they fucked up, they didn't take down the video.
Did they do a follow-up or no?
They didn't do a follow-up. They posted a comment basically saying like, yes, we made a mistake, but the company should have made it more obvious that there's a sticker there. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of a bit just weird. There's also a couple fucking weird scenarios where, again, a lot of the malice that people are attributing to Linus Tech Tips does just seem like a disorganized company, you know what I mean? That's like rushing.
That's what I'm saying. Like
out.
you can't ascribe. This is quote. It's like you can't chalk up like evil
malice
to what can be easily explained by like stupidity, right?
Yeah. And
that's generally the case. I think people are like more stupid than evil.
Yeah. No. And that when I say he comes off like a megalomaniac, I don't mean that to say like he seems evil, right? I can tell like he seems like a little bit like not the best at, I guess, taking, you know, criticism and probably, I don't know, based on the HR meeting that I heard, he just comes off like a certain type of guy that I feel like I know, but
he might be one of these sort of just like business oriented people who's concerned above all else with moving forward rather than little pit stops along the way. It's like kind of greater good type thing. Like why fuck with certain situations when you don't have to, right?
Yeah, and like a little bit defensive, but yes, and it's not like he's evil, but the situation with basically there was allegations that his company at least mishandled basically an employee who was experiencing sexual harassment in the workplace.
Yeah, I saw her post on Twitter.
Yeah, it's a lot. The post is a lot, and I'm not gonna lie, there's some parts of the post where I'm just while I read it, I was like she was attributing malice to what could have easily been stupidity, but there were other parts.
She claimed there were people who were like, how do you or something, right? It was like that kind of.
Yeah, which is like in a workplace, like a professional environment, is obviously not cool. But like,
I mean, even just among her like friends, like that's kind of weird. But yeah, I agree, definitely.
Yeah,
professional.
Yeah, of course. No, her claims that like she was sexually harassed and all that stuff, absolutely, that's like, you know, bad. That's not. I'm not saying that, but like there was some stuff where like certain resources, like she would order, I guess, resources so that she could do her job better, and they would take like 5 months for them to get these resources. It's like, okay, I don't know if that's just because they hated you. It might have just been because, you know, they're just disorganized and fucking cheap.
Yeah.
I definitely, bro, I'm gonna be real though. The way that company operates, I totally believe that they're like hardcore on that corporate shit now. You know what I mean? Like hard on that corporate shit, because first of all, their apology was fucking corporate as fucking balls. Second of all, like it's worth like $100 million, and they've hired like basically a bunch of people that, you know, are not tech bros, but they're like finance bros. And there are videos on the channel of the people who make content, right? Because that's only like one arm of their business. The people making content literally are saying like, yeah, we make too many videos. Like we are literally putting out too many videos. I'm not proud of the videos we're making. Those videos were put out before this whole controversy. So like it was already known within the company that like, yeah, we're really, you know, kind of on the grind set out here. Like we're really just kind of shitting out content. Would you, I don't know. I can leave you with leaked HR meeting if you want to hear it, but
yeah, if you want to send it to me.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I guess that's the main few things. Yeah, I was curious to hear your thoughts on like how I did in the conversation or whatever, but I think I did decent. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, whatever. You had a goal and you fucking, you know, seems like you did it. So I would consider that a success.
Yeah.
The what is it? The Linus. 1 sec. Yeah. Okay, I found it. Yeah, it's. I'll say with the Linus shit, this leaked meeting is not anything too crazy, but the relevance of it is that the woman who came out, Madison, she quit like of her own volition. Basically, she was fed up with working there the day after this HR meeting went down. Okay, so and that is confirmed by the new CEO of the company, who's like a fucking android guy.
Right.
like he just looks like he's not media trained, is what I mean. So this is, with that context, this makes this HR meeting a little bit suspect. Again, it's nothing egregious, but with that context, to me, it's like, all right, there was some shit going down. Obviously, Linus, I guess legally can't really give his opinion on the scenario or something like that, but so like have that context. But yeah, I'm curious how you interpret this. You might need to raise the volume a bit. It's like literally someone was just recording this on their fucking phone while the meeting was going on.
Okay,
so, yeah.
gotcha. Let me do you have a link? Oh, you do have it. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just getting the link.
No worries. Well,
Sent it.
Apparently he's going in right now, dude. Chad is. He got an extra few thousand viewers. It looks like things are kicking off a little bit. 4 minutes 22 seconds. Let's see this Linus Tech Tips meme, and I'll screen share so you can see it as well.
So we called this meeting because it's come to our attention that we need to have a quick chat about the best way to handle HR-related feedback and rumors. We won't be giving any names for what I hope are extraordinarily obvious reasons, but what we can do is give you the following guidelines for problem solving and conflict resolution. Sorry that this is all boring and corporate, but here we are. Number 1, always stand up for what's right. We're only a team as long as we're all working together and looking out for each other. That's the most important one. Number 2, always reflect on your own personal experiences and use your common sense. Few things in life are truly black and white. Number 3, always wait to hear both sides of a story before passing your own judgment. Cautious when you know that one side is bound by legal and ethical disclosure guidelines when the other is not. Carefully consider what it says about the character of someone who would engage.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty interesting. Who recorded this? Where was this leaked from? Was this leaked from her?
No, so she had already left. This was the day after she quit. So I have no idea who recorded it. I just know that the CEO confirmed it. To be real, just back up like 5 seconds. This is like kind of the most, I guess you could say, interesting part, where he's effectively kind of low-key, it seems like, this is technically unconfirmable because he doesn't say her name, but it seems like he's throwing shade at this Madison girl because, again, she just quit. Her entire thing is saying, like, they did not do anything when I would basically say that people were sexually harassing me and fucking treating me like dog shit. And then when she quits because of that, they have this HR meeting. So listen to this.
Cautious when you know that one side is bound by legal and ethical disclosure guidelines when the other is
he saying like be careful when someone might be able to like talk about what's going on like outside of this?
Yeah, and then listen to this next part. This is the more damning part.
Okay.
Carefully consider what it says about the character of someone who would engage in that type of gossip against someone who has no power to defend themselves.
So this is right after she comes out. So basically he's saying like
No. This is right after she quit.
Right after she quit. So he's saying like be careful. Well, I need to let me listen to this again. Be careful of gossip, but be careful of someone who would gossip against someone who can't gossip back.
Yeah, like basically someone who would complain is like, you know what I mean? Complain about people that they like can't respond or whatever.
Yeah.
Against someone who has no power to defend themselves. Number 4, always encourage openness and transparency. If you have a problem, you need to speak up. We want to fix it. If you receive feedback about somebody else at this company, the first response is, have you spoken with this person? Followed closely by, you need to speak with.
So this is
Go ahead.
This is something that they're also getting heat for because the idea of like telling someone who just said like I got sexually harassed, telling them to like go deal with it with the person is like kind of sus.
Yeah, obviously.
And this is more the broader critique that, you know, aside from just saying like, oh, he's a piece of shit, he's a apologist and all this. The broader critique is like they clearly didn't have a sufficient HR department. The HR department at the time was literally his fucking wife, who was also upper management. Okay, so obviously, if you're reporting like sexual harassment to like Linus's wife, she's obviously going to have the fucking interests of the company way more at the at the head of her mind than you actually dealing with shit properly. And it seems like their policy.
How big is the company?
It's worth $100 million. They have
120. I thought it was like 20 employees. Okay.
I'll double check, but 1 sec.
Yo, that's crazy.
No, it's impressive, bro. It's impressive.
I didn't know it was that big. Yeah, I mean, it's maybe the real super mega was the Linus Tech Tips we met along the way. But yeah, pretty interesting. Can I keep listening to this? Do you mind?
Go ahead, bro.
Okay.
Or really anywhere in your life if you wish to live in a drama-free zone by engaging in water cooler politicking. So if for any reason that individual is not comfortable approaching the person they're having a conflict with, we have a chain that they're supposed to follow. So first, you advise them to take the problem to their manager, followed by me or Yvonne, followed by our third-party HR firm. I hope that you all trust that we're here to make this a safe, fun, and productive workplace, and we won't tolerate
evidence that he lied is in Matt.
If you have any reason to believe otherwise, then I refer you again to point number 4, which is to address the issue with the individual directly, or bring it to me or Yvonne, or bring it to our third-party HR firm.
In fairness, he did say like you can if you don't address it with them. That should have been the last thing I think, but kind of out of priority. But there is some
third-party HR.
Yeah, I mean third-party HR is. Oh, I missed. He said third-party. Yeah, that is kind of.
So, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Usually when you have to go to a third-party HR firm, you have to like make that appeal through Linus's HR. You know what I mean? Like through the HR firm of the company. You don't just fucking like go and like contact the third-party HR firm directly. But beyond that, like, yes, it's good, I guess, if they have third-party HR firm. It needs to be kept in mind. This is him allegedly, right? But this is the case. Like right after the day after this woman quit, he's now making all of this clear, right? So this might not have been as explicitly stated before this. And there's kind of evidence to indicate that because like further into this, I don't know, you'll see. I would just continue.
I'm noticing one thing that's happening right now is there's this so on YouTube it used to be like a very amateur thing, like Smosh Days Fred, like it was just like very amateur people. Now there's all these companies, and companies have a very different way of responding to like allegations of like misdeeds or whatever than like people do. And so I think that when like a corporate response comes from a company, because you see them in like you see like faces in the YouTube videos, it comes across like, oh, why would they respond this corporately? But it's like because they're a corporation with 100 employees, so like that would probably be why. But I think that's like seeing these companies interact with like other public figures who are more like someone like Mudahar, who's just a personality. Like that's a very interesting thing, a very interesting dynamic to see. I'm curious to see like because Linus Tech Tips uploads a lot, right?
He uploads 26 videos a week, roughly.
A week on the main channel?
25 roughly a week, yeah.
Oh,
this is a part of the grind thing. Like the employees were basically complaining that on average they make like 25 videos a week.
I thought they made like one every 2 days. Is it that many? Jeez, it is quite a few.
Oh, sorry.
You mean a month?
I was talking about the company. They have like 3 or 4 subsidiary channels. If you were talking about Linus Tech Tips, I'm pretty sure they just uploaded daily.
Because there's Linus Tech Tips, and then they have Short Circuit, Tech Quickie, Tech Linked, Game Linked, Mac Address, LMG Clips, Super Channel Fun, and They're Just Movies. They're doing a lot. Short Circuit, what is this channel?
Yeah, so this channel was uploading like daily.
That's so interesting. Yeah, they really have a lot going on, and they're very successful. Clearly, it works, right?
Yeah. That's why the whole Gamers Nexus thing, like that, really did come off as like just a critique. It wasn't like allegations, really. It was just like, yeah, you're making a ton of fucking money, and it's very obvious that you're trying to make a ton of money, but like put some of those resources into actually making better fucking shit.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Since I'm not at liberty to share any details about what occurred, all I can do is ask that you trust me and Yvonne. Some of you know us very well. I've been here a very long time. Some of you have not been here for as long, but I like to think that whether you've been here for 9 years or 9 days, you're here for a reason, and you believe that we do our utmost to run this company with integrity and compassion. We can't solve problems we don't know about, though. So on that note, I'd like to invite anyone who has concerns about a fellow team member or about a manager to submit their feedback. I am speaking with their manager, Yvonne, directly.
Well, that was interesting. Yeah, I mean, what was your takeaway at the end of it from everything? Like how, I don't know, maybe it's bad to ask how much of this girl's story do you believe?
Yeah, that's kind of bad because I don't really have any fucking basis to like really like doubt or not doubt her. Yeah. The one thing that I will say, if you click, go to the fucking fucking
Is this one right?
Yeah. I have a pretty negative reaction to one thing she says, which you can, I guess, skip to. I had asked and been told during my interviews that I would be allowed to monetize my YouTube channel and be allowed to join Floatplane in exchange for shutting down my Patreon. Once I moved, I was presented with an entirely new contract/handbook that I was not told existed, leaving her with pretty much no recourse because she had already moved. It detailed that I was given incorrect information and would actually have to make changes to my plans if I wanted to continue being an employee at LTT. This was after I had already moved entire countries and given up my visa status. I couldn't go back. I later went to Linus about this and stated that the effort to remediate the situation wasn't sitting right with me. He told me perhaps I should change my priorities. He was in this instance referring to the fact that my brother had suddenly passed away not even a week before I moved for this job, and that perhaps I should just ignore that I had been misled. That's her kind of assuming that he meant that. Like, there's a couple things where like it seems like kind of assumes his intention, which again, she might have been completely fucking correct. What I'm kind of going on about here is that she was claiming that they wanted her YouTube channel to fail effectively because she kind of got hired because she was like a Linus Tech Tips kind of simp. Okay, not simp, but like orbiter, I guess you could say, in a similar vein, where like she would make videos kind of like goading, Linus Tech Tips, and it was kind of like a fun banter, like back and forth. And that kind of seems like how she ended up getting hired, was her affiliation with them. But then when she joined, there was like they basically, they made her like shut down her Patreon so that she could, join their private Floatplane like content production. And basically she kind of claims like they were trying to sabotage her YouTube channel. I didn't feel like she gave enough evidence or like even really enough points to back that up. Her claim though was that they didn't want her to succeed because they were worried that she would basically talk shit about them eventually. She was basically saying I was too outspoken, so they didn't want to give me a platform. But I don't know. There's other Linus Tech Tips employees that have quit and started their own channels, and they've seemed to support them. So like that was one claim that I just wasn't really convinced of.
Yeah.
There was another thing. If you continue like about 30 seconds after this.
Yeah, I'll just keep playing it.
Because that was more important. Via workplace behavior, it was considered tattle-tailing. I was actually called a tattletale. I was told I was bossy when I was trying to be assertive, like they asked me to. I was told I was arguing when I was trying to discuss my point of view. I was told to calm my tits and stop being such a bitch, and other comments to similar effects. That the company was trying to undermine her own social media presence because she was like an established streamer at the time. Because she thinks they were wearing. So I just skip like a minute ahead. And she describes having a very heavy workload that resulted in constant crunch. The number of daily items the social media role at the time was expected to fill was extremely high. I was expected to post 3 tweets, 2 Instagram posts, and 2 TikToks minimum per day. I was also expected to plan, film, edit, and post 2 Floatplane exclusives per week. This included wrangling.
Yeah, this was just like, I remember seeing this one particular part and I was like, that just sounds like a normal job for, like you're making social media posts. Like, I don't really know. Is that so much?
I know that you're stimmed the fuck out and you produce a ton of content, but like I could see how for someone this is a lot of shit. Especially that's the thing that I didn't
also like I feel like if a job is something you feel like you're not up to task for, like you can just quit and get a new one.
Yeah, which is what she ended up doing. Yeah, the 3 tweets, 2 Instagram posts, and 2 TikToks. I'll say like 2 TikToks if they're edited, you know what I mean? That's why I would have liked to have seen what these TikToks look like. But if you're making a decent TikTok, I could see how that would take like 2-3 hours. So it does seem like a lot, especially if it's like corporate type shit, you know what I mean? Like it's not just like she's a random. It feels like it was probably like she had to pair a bunch of stuff. And then she also says she was dealing with the fucking advertisers on this front. Basically, I don't know. I could see how it was a lot of work. I don't know that it was like grinding to the bone type shit. Whatever.
I just feel like complaining about a job being a lot of work is like not that.
Well, it's the main thing she's saying is that even if she like tried to take her sick days and shit like that, she basically, they would be like, yeah, you need to just, you need to like fix your time management. You shouldn't take a sick day or whatever.
Yeah.
People to be in them when they were also struggling to get their own work done. I was also expected to manage, plan, come up with, execute, approval for, and schedule all the sponsored content on socials, not including YouTube. All while being told not to complain because my job was the fun job. I remember getting told off for taking my sick days, as in the days you're entitled to. This no days off grind set culminated in the real moment I realized I had to leave. I purposely cut my leg open so badly I would have to go to the ER to get it stapled back together.
I just want to say, I just got a DM. Apparently, Destiny said the Nick is not green, should KYS. So I think we have won the game.
Yeah. That's fucking...
What the fuck?
We're crazy, bro. We're going off.
That's what he said that on stream.
I was just told that in the DM. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's obviously as a joke.
Yeah,
you know, he goes hard, right? He goes hard.
Seems insane.
I'm not super familiar. That's crazy. Sorry, go on.
What the fuck?
I just remember that name. That is a name that I know. God damn.
Ended up going on a stream and talking about her experience with Matt Watson after seeing what Lex had to say in her video. And someone from the Super Mega subreddit put together a stream recap of what she was talking about. I will link that below, or I'm sure you can find it on her Twitch stream if you want to watch the entire thing. But let's talk about what she said here. Mordecai says that Matt started talking to her in the DMs. He was flirtatious and didn't mention a girlfriend until they had been DMing consistently. Matt and his girlfriend at the time were together for about 4 years, I think. He started texting Mordecai about being in a really rough place mentally. He texted her that he was upset because his friends found out that he was cheating on his ex, who goes by the name Annabelle, with a girl by the name of Zeph. Zeph is actually a pretty popular musician who Matt ended up dating, and if you go to her most recent post, you can see that comments on this post have been limited. The top comment saying...
Okay. That's it. There's still 10 minutes left.
That's what I said. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see what he does with that coverage. What would be kind of
skip back like just 10 seconds.
Take a second.
This is the part that kind of fucked with my head for a second because I don't know what to think about it.
I purposely cut my leg open so badly I would have to go to the ER to get it stapled back together.
Is that like is she describing self-harm there, or that was a part of the job?
She's saying that the workload was so intense that she ended up slicing her leg open so that she could get her sick days.
That is not necessary. I feel like that's not. Yeah, she didn't need to do that. I don't think anyone would want her to do that.
No, I feel like that when I heard that, I was like, that feels a lot more indicative of your own mental health than, you know.
Yeah.
Matt had made a lot of jokes about what happened to Daniel, and even called
this guy should off himself. I think if the world would be a better place.
Jesus.
I don't know what else is.
Holy
This is just a hit piece. Why are you bringing up every irrelevant fucking fact you don't know any of the information about? You have no fucking idea. You don't check.
He's literally
programmed,
and these
bro.
allegations are real. You don't even know what kind of jokes
guy.
to say. Why do you think you even have a right to speak on like how they would joke about a suicided friend?
That's facts, though. When I heard that, bro, I thought the exact same thing.
That was my thought. It was like, if my personal friend killed himself, considering my sense of humor, like after the fact, I may joke about it. And it's not because I'm glad he died. It's just because like that's our sense of humor.
It pisses me off because I watched that old channel that they made together, those three guys. I was originally Ryan and Daniel, but like that was literally their fucking humor. Like you were saying, like they used to be edgy or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel was also that kind of edgy guy. Like, and these are people that don't even fucking know him that are coming. Like it actually did piss me off just hearing it. Yeah.
It's like with
pisses me off.
I'm sure you saw recently Young Crip passed away. You probably saw that. Like people were making jokes about that, and like I saw a few people in the comments being offended, and it's like, do people like his whole thing was making jokes. Like obviously his friends are gonna joke about it a little bit and like, you know, post a picture of him doing blackface or whatever. Like that's just it's just funny, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's
he
like
was unoffendable.
Yeah, and it's not the audience's right to determine who you can joke about or not, or like how.
That's the biggest thing that fucking like rubs me the wrong way about Nick is Not Green type content. Like and it really is a type of content. Like these people are not all the same, but there's a similar taste with like Drew Gooden, fucking Danny Gonzalez, Eddie Burback. The list could keep going. Fucking Jarvis Johnson. Like I could keep going. Whatever his name is with the mullet. I don't even know. Anyway, there's a ton of guys that make this fucking content. Yeah, Curtis Connor. There's a ton of guys that make this content, and I just get this fucking air of sanitization that for me, it's okay if your sense of humor, I understand, is like a safe space, or it's just like, you know, making fun of people who are, you know, manosphere people, whatever. I understand if this is like the content you enjoy. The second you try and impose your fucking standard for what is funny onto other people, it makes me suspect a little bit. I don't know. It's a little bit.
I agree.
You're kind of you're a fun killer a little bit.
It was the same thing with the like. Okay, I understand. Let's say for the sake of argument, I understand being mad if Matt and Ryan were, let's say, calling black people slurs. But even the joke that Ethan is online took a major issue with was like, it wasn't a racist joke. It was the joke was Chuck E. Cheese's middle name is this word. Like it's not like it's not a joke in which you're demeaning a racist choice of people. Just the inclusion of that, I think it's like they see it as a very like easy Twitter own, where it's like, damn, he said the N word. Like it's just that kind of thing.
No, I know what you're saying. It almost feels like an afterthought that they know that'll like rile up their audience. Do you know what I mean? Like they just put that in to just like add fuel to the fire.
And from the audience's perspective, like honestly, the N word thing would probably come first, and then they'd be like, and they covered up rape, and it's like, okay.
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah. It's like, oh, so
it's a non-starter,
and he did this.
Yes. Who would have thought the guy who said the N word covered up rape? Imagine my shock. Like it's that kind of thing. Bro, it's totally that kind of thing.
Sounds like a total fucking come down bit.
Yeah, it does.
That seems insane. Can be conducive certainly to how brutally this workplace environment fucked with her head, or potentially how like she was literally that burnt out and felt like her job stability was in line and whatever. But at the same time, don't fucking do that. That's really stupid. Look, if you're an employee at a company that's grinding you to the fucking dust and bone, and I understand that people need to work to fucking survive, so it's not exactly, the most simple scenario.
Okay, I'm not going to content shimp you. I'm going to spam this video in chat so everyone can watch it. Yeah, well, kind of, I guess big picture, how do you think that like people should handle allegations going forward, whether it be Linus Tech Tips or Super Mega, predominantly? Like, if you could talk to Nick is Not Green and be like, here's my tips for what you need to change going forward, what would you say?
Oof, okay, that's a good question. I might have been able to answer that better when I was like in the thick of covering the Super Mega shit, but here's the thing. I don't think that speculation is bad, okay? I think that if you are going to speculate, though, on someone's intent or someone's what they're doing, you need to kind of back it up, I would say. And in a situation with like Nick is Not Green, like if you're going to read a Reddit post that summarizes the accusations against somebody, you should at least add a qualifier of like, yeah, I'm not sure if this is 100% legit, I haven't looked into it myself. And he doesn't add any qualifiers. So like especially with allegations, right? Because this is stuff that it's not just like a content critique. It's not like, oh, you said this dumb thing. It's just like someone claiming something happened. I feel like you should be more cautious and add qualifiers just so that you're not literally trying to elicit a fucking hate mob, unless that's your goal, which it does seem like that was Nick's goal, right?
Seems like that was, yeah. But I don't think you should do that. That shouldn't be the goal. Is the real criticism, right?
Yeah, because that's the biggest reason though. If sure, morally you shouldn't do that, but like the biggest reason just functionally is that exactly what happened can happen. You can get this big hate mob, and Nick is Not Green's audience is a bunch of people who just love eating up drama. You know what I mean? Like they just kind of look for blood in the water and they like suck in the blood. So if you're going to rile up 700,000 of these fucking people, who aren't even related to Lex, the second that this video by Ryan comes out, that whole audience can turn on Lex, right? So this is something that like can fuck over your friend at the end of the day if you're not careful. So when it comes to allegations, yeah, be fucking more careful. Actually watch the streams. Don't fucking try to shit it out in a day and a half because what? You want to protect your friend? Protect your friend by fucking giving legitimate information and relaying their message undiluted as best you can, okay? And if you're gonna cover other stuff that other people have said, at least add that it's alleged. If you don't know them and don't trust them and don't fucking have any context for them, yeah, at least just have some fucking qualifiers. It's pretty
even
simple.
Frankly, even if you do know them, like you still, if you want to not compromise your own integrity, you need to make it clear, like, I believe this, but it's allegations for the purpose of the public. Absolutely. At least say that, Like, I understand disclosing your biases if you don't let that completely ruin your coverage.
Yeah, this is if you're trying to be a reputable commentator, which I'm not convinced is really his goal. But but beyond that, like, critical thinking is absolutely, evidently not a part of Nick's fucking brand, okay? And I don't mean that in like I'm a fucking genius. I literally mean like his content is just taking accusations and basically relaying them, as like drama or whatever. It's not actually like really dissecting what the fuck is going on and giving too much of an interpretation. It's just like, oh, this guy said this, he's a creep, he's a weirdo, he's gross. You know what I mean?
So he's gross. Like Yikes.
Yeah, this is a guy who's trained. Yeah. Literally, he's trained his brain to view things in a binary way. Like, oh, this person's gross and a piece of shit and should be murdered. Or, they're a good person and they're empathetic and whatever, Whereas, like, trying to take in the fucking nuance, again, especially with fucking allegations of people you know what I mean? It seems like it should be a priority. So, yeah, that's basically it. Like, when allegations like this come forward, and again, it's different because it was his friend, but, like, still, I would like to think that he would have the brain in his fucking head to not talk about Matt Watson cheating on his fucking girlfriend, right? I would like to think that he would know in his brain, like, okay, there was just a couple things that Lex mentions that maybe aren't that necessary to fucking include in this video that'll get 700,000 views. Yeah,
you would be wrong. You would be wrong, unfortunately.
Apparently. But yeah, at the end of the day, to me, it's just about, do you give a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, people fuck up, people make mistakes, whatever, but like, do you give a fuck? And the entire vibe that I get from his response and the initial video, absolutely.
He doesn't
Just keep in
care.
mind that he fucking put a thumbnail in the original video that was literally identical to his T drama content. Like, it was literally a spectacle-inducing Nick is not green drama video. That at the end of the day, he gives off an air of he didn't really give that much of a fuck about the truth. You know what I mean?
Well, but he didn't get pressure for it, right?
Right. He cared about his friend, maybe. Again, I'm not convinced his actions really, indicate that, but like he'll claim that. That's fair. But in terms of caring about the truth, it didn't seem like he, was really there to do that. Anyway, that's all I got.
Very opportunistic. That was a good synopsis, though. I mean, you said it pretty much exactly how I would, I think. And you probably worded it better than I did. Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, W Riz. The last update on Super Mega for now just is that they posted this video today.
I can summarize it if you want.
Well, they basically were just like, we're gonna leave for a bit. I actually watched it. They're like, we're gonna leave to work on ourselves. So that was really it. I don't know. I'm curious to see if Destiny's discourse influences this at all, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I imagine that they're gonna make a video out of this. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't have a perfect picture of Destiny in my brain.
I don't think they're going to, considering they didn't even respond to Matt Watson's thing with 600,000 subs. The most they would do, I think, is they would cherry pick certain things, like Destiny saying "off yourself." They're gonna take that and be like, he literally told us to die. Get him banned, right? Like they would probably do that.
Well, that actually frustrates me a little bit, to be honest, when I see stuff like that.
Of course.
Destiny's giving them that on a silver platter. Like, that's kind of annoying to me. Like, I see Destiny saying that and I'm like, you can say whatever you want, you can say that's funny, etc., but like, now you're giving them an easy out. Whereas if we were able to like come at this from a much more like, a different angle, I would say, I don't know, it might be a bit easier.
That was my instant like it is funny, but you don't gain much by saying that,
No, yeah, it's literally
their
like
audience will immediately write you off for saying
you're controversy farming, guaranteed. You know how Destiny posts those videos that he does, and like at the start he says all the controversial shit. He's just gonna like his editor's gonna put like all these like controversial statements right at the start. It's drama farming. It's what happens with like streamers.
I mean, that's
like,
how you get people in the door, right? Like, I don't really
blame
them for that.
Yeah, here's the thing. You and I aren't straight streamer mains. Like, I really don't view us like that.
Absolutely
so
not.
Our brains are wired a little bit differently to a guy like Destiny, and I truly do think that Destiny's brain is wired after over a decade of streaming to kind of controversy farm. Like, that's why he keeps so many fucking degenerates around him. That's why he, interacts with all these people that are kind of like easy prop up dummies for him to like make fun of. I can see what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, he's not someone who I think he does call his sense of humor a little bit, optically, but he didn't hold back in that way, which I don't know, it was a little frustrating. Hopefully it doesn't get him shit from YouTube or something, but I don't know, it was good to just get him interested, and I'm curious to see his take in the end. And,
whatever, like, hopefully spark a conversation, right?
Yeah, I would at the very least just like I think like bottom line is I would like Nick and maybe even Ethan to respond to the points, or Lex Lex more importantly. I would like them collectively to respond to the actual points rather than cherry pick like stuff that is just like an easy like, oh, they said that, you know what I mean?
I
would really like them to do that. I don't think we're gonna get that, but I would like that.
No, look, again, I view Lex as like a civilian. Like, I get though, like, you could probably argue she's not, but like that's kind of how I view it. Like, I just am really biased against like not shitting on people who like aren't YouTubers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes to like Ethan and especially Nick, I would like that, and I doubt we're gonna get it. I completely doubt we're gonna get it, because Nick seems like the exact kind of guy, to be honest, that understands the game. Like, I'm gonna be real, he really understands the game. If you just keep uploading and don't acknowledge that bullshit, nobody will give a fuck, because
he's playing it. He's playing it great.
Yeah, technically.
Nick knows
anyway,
the game, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck off, do some chores, brother. But no, it's good talking.
Too. Good talk.
This was a lot of fun.
When are you streaming next?
Me? Every Friday night at 9:30.
You stream on your main channel?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Everyone go sub to him. Check him out. I'll see you later, buddy. Have a good one. Bye.
And then this is a hit piece.
Yeah, no
Yeah, and it's like a coordinated hit piece too.
It's
like
a
lot of people.
It's literally an op.
It literally is, yeah. Usually 99% of the time I'm going to say that's cringe, because you need like a lot of evidence to support that. But I think that with the latent the gay app and the Discord, and then like all the different groups coming together, and then all the cringe, like the counter text that I think the one guy leaked, unless these guys have come out with something more, or counter texting.
They've not said anything.
Yeah.
And that stream that they're referencing, I can find you probably the stream right now if you want to have it. But
well, I mean, it doesn't matter. They're literally sitting here with a fucking sub counter with both of their soy faces, like trying to celebrate.
There's a part that makes it better. They're during the stream. It's like a little party. They're smoking weed, like hanging out, watching the sub count go down, cheering it on. It's like the most cringe thing ever. Super Mega did lose a lot of subs. Those subs they lost considering their critical thinking skills, or maybe not people they wanted anyway. But it still sucks. It still really sucks.
Oh, can you put together? Hold on, I actually hate everybody involved in this. I see, because these f***ers have farmed me in the past too. That Nick loser has farmed my shit. And now I see Ethan is that girl's boyfriend, right?
Ethan is online.
Then online
is that girl's boyfriend. Yes.
Boyfriend. Yeah. He farmed 60,000 likes on that Farah video about me. Destiny said the leading cause of is girls not being upfront with what they want, rap behavior.
Yeah.
You should put together like a video or a tweet. I'll boost it. I'll signal boost it. Nothing will happen to these people, but these people should all like lose their like careers. Like this is actually insane. Not lose their careers, but there's like no. I hated that there's no accountability for like dumb shit like this. Right.
I got
It's
a little
literally just
pissy
a hit
actually
piece.
seeing your coverage because of one thing that I'm not mad at you, but I know the way they're gonna. The only response they would ever give is they're gonna clip you saying I'm gonna go full apologist, or they're gonna clip you saying Nick should go himself, and they're gonna clip that to say, do we really think this is the guy we should listen to? And then their audience isn't gonna care because their audience doesn't
at
actually
least I'm
care.
not lying about shit. Yeah.
No, I
fuck it.
appreciate that. I appreciate
That's why
that.
you have to be the warrior to carry my sword. All I can do is give you my armies. Okay?
I appreciate
you
that.
can't fly my banner, but you can fly the banner of Turkey Tom, and I can give you my soldiers. Okay.
I appreciate that, but what I'm saying is like, no matter what, like you can archive it, we can show it in a video. Like 100,000 people can agree, 200,000, 300,000. It's a situation where like very similar to Keffel's audience, like they don't actually care about the truth. I don't think.
I disagree. I think if you point out enough of these inconsistencies, I think it does chip away their armor. I think Keffel's audience does. I think ultimately that was her downfall, was pointing out inconsistency after inconsistency after inconsistency. And then a lot of people pick up on those things and they carry those like arguments forward. I think it's important. I think it's an important. This is like a type of thing. I know the mega people aren't like autistic like me, but this is the type of thing that I would write a manifesto over. And let me be ultra clear, because I barely dipped my toes in this. I don't know who any of these fucking people are like 2 hours ago. So I could be totally wrong and you might be a piece of shit that's misleading on all of this. But what it feels like to me is basically the Leighton guy got fired from a job, and because he's so mad about it, he's basically running around DMing people like, bro, you got any dirt? Bro, you got any dirt? Bro, you got any dirt? And then whatever inkling he can get, whatever whiff he can get of anything, he's like stretched it out of the most extreme ever. So one is this like bullshit essay story, and then the other is like they say the N-word all the time and blah blah blah. Of which, by the way, when that brain dead Aspie that Nick dude was reading that Reddit post, unless I'm missing something, there wasn't a single shred of proof of any of the claims in that entire Reddit post. Were there?
None.
Okay, yeah,
not a single
nothing.
one. All that Reddit post is just summarizing Leighton's stream, which Nick, once again, I brought this up. You were like, it's a little too early to say that, whatever. He hasn't really gotten into it, but like my number one issue with Nick's video is like, even if he's friends with them, like if he didn't let that completely affect his coverage, I wouldn't care that much. But he was totally uncritical. He didn't say the word allegation once in that whole thing. He treated it all as fact.
Even the fact that some of it is directly contradicted, like the gay jokes thing, that destroys his credibility for
it does. And they're all friends with him. They're all friends with that fucking guy.
Yeah, all of them are.
None of them have denounced him whatsoever.
I would never masturbate to another Morgue Pie video again. She's just a worse Heather Deepthroat. I don't even support her career anymore, okay? What a horrible person. I don't like. I feel like there needs to be like a big accounting. There needs to be like somebody needs to write a manifesto on this. It can't be me, okay? Somebody needs to do an accounting of all this because this is fucking insane. This is like really crazy. No,
it is insane. What I did is I did like a 6-hour stream where I started off. I watched Nick's video. I watched Matt's response. I talked to Chud Logic for a bit to get like the most extreme take I could get, and then what I did is I reacted to Nick's response. Nick is not green did a response to all of it, and it's such a like I don't know. Have you seen it yet? I don't think you probably haven't.
Oh, Nick has made a response video?
He made a response video, and it's like, it's just bad. It's just really fucking bad. He does
What's his name again? Nick on green? Nick is not green?
I'll send you a link. I'll just DM you. It's a really bad response. Basically, he does like the bare fucking minimum he can to be like, yeah, I mean, I guess like maybe I kind of regret like not, being a little more careful. Like I shouldn't have brought that stuff up. But like he's the whole reason why it got so messy. Like he is the reason why the well is so poisoned. Like
yeah, all of these guys, when you uncritically amplify friends' claims, Also, and then to be clear, while they're all saying on the back of this that it's gross that everybody's not taking assault seriously, like these are literally the reasons why so many people don't take a lot of these
they're not
claims
treating
seriously.
it seriously.
Like, these guys are doing it. No, they're just using it as a launching pad for a hit piece. Like that's all this is, which is super ultra gross. Oh my god, an hour video. I don't know if I can watch that much of a guy who's like never put a razor above his lips in his entire life.
A lot of it's stupid. If you just skip to the he says there's a part where he's like, what I could have changed. If you skip to that part, it's in the chapters, I think.
What I could have changed.
It's something like that. It's like at the very end, pretty much. It's just frustrating. I might do like a bigger video about it because I noticed that like a 3-hour stream, even your stream, like it's hard for the average person to get onto because not everyone watches streams. So I think
that's why it's so important to do a manifesto. It sounds
well, or
cringe
just
when
do
I
a
say that,
video,
right,
a video, a video.
I think doing a video and a manifesto is good because having a written source is good because people can link to it. Like, oh, look at this claim and look at that, and go, rather than like look at the timestamp of this like 45-minute video. I think it's nice to just have like a write up.
That's fair, yeah, and it makes it more accessible for other people too, right?
Exactly, yeah, and people can link to it and spread it and share it so that people, yeah. I guess what I hate about this is that like I don't know the super mega guys, and also to be clear, I'll reiterate there could be other things behind the scenes that I haven't seen that I'm missing that actually makes them huge pieces of shit. But it kind of seems like
with everything we have publicly.
Steven, have you thought about hiring a scriptwriter?
What?
Hiring a scriptwriter for a video like this.
He means for a manifesto, I assume, or like if
Yeah.
you were if you were to
I'm
do
not just
like a
looking for
pre-recorded video.
I'm not looking for a script. I'm looking for a manifesto.
He's
like the
saying
ones
like
that
if
I
you
wrote.
were to
Yeah.
do like a
Hire
if
a
you were to
writer.
hire someone to write it and like get it done for you, do the research, and then you could publish it as like a video.
You spend like dozens of hours
Oh.
writing these manifestos. Just hire a professional writer.
It's hard because usually I need a group of people to do research, and I haven't found somebody whose writing style I like yet to actually like write the prose. But maybe I don't know. I need to look for it. I have like good groups of people for research, but
People really like prepared, like scripted out content for YouTube. It does so much better than like the React stuff. And for something
I
like this,
know.
if you want people to actually watch
My
it,
manifesto-
Yeah, you
Manifestos
talk
for
about
that,
wanting
right,
your whole
okay.
production company. That's what it is, buddy. You gotta get a script writer.
yeah, there's manifestos on like this.
Well, you make a video. You make a video out of it, like a well edited
there's
video.
so many people, like professional writers out there looking for work. There has to be someone who'll say, "We'll do good at this."
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
think
but I
about
mean,
it.
just to give you an idea of how well connected these guys are, like someone like Nick is Not Green is friends with Danny Gonzalez, who's someone who has like millions of subs and is like a big commentary channel. Friends with Hassan, he's been on his streams a bunch of times. I assume Ethan and him just like swap friends probably, if I had to guess, because they do like a band together. They do some like trashy rap. I don't really know, but yeah, there's just like a whole community of these people that's like formed, and their covering of allegations has been like consistently missing the mark in my opinion. And this is like probably the most egregious example, but there was another recent example that a lot of my chats asked me to talk about, where Nick is Not Green and Hassan covered these like it's just like these random white chicks on TikTok who were like dancing or whatever, and they basically they called them racist for being like, you know, into anime or whatever, and like doing a little bit of like a voice. They called them like horrible racist, cultural appropriation, all this stuff.
Yeah, they ended
got
up
them to
quitting everything,
resign
didn't they?
because they got relentlessly harassed and like doxxed because of it. And I'm not saying that Nick and Hassan endorsed that particular behavior, but
they did.
I mean you draw the line, right?
They did endorse that behavior. That was wild. I remember.
Did they endorse that in specific? I didn't see that.
I mean, not specifically, but like when you call
say
a whole bunch of
tacitly?
people. Well, I mean, like racist is like the N word for progressives. It's like the worst thing that you can throw on somebody because you know you're sicking your entire fan on somebody
true.
to like destroy their shit as much as possible. Yeah.
That's true, yeah. I mean, it's super frustrating. Maybe I'll do a manifesto. I'll see. I don't know. I hate to say this because it sounds like so kind of self-absorbed, but there's just a lot of other stuff I'm also working on. There's so many allegations and stuff, but
So you just don't give a fuck about the victims, the
exactly
real
the
victims.
victims.
Say you don't care about Super Omega. Say you're excited for them to lose. Are you ahead of them in subs now?
Yeah, I guess.
what you're
No,
looking for.
actually, I'm
Okay,
not. I'm not
yeah.
yet.
You're just
Almost.
knocking
Give me a
off-
month.
Knocking off. Yeah, competition. That's fine. I understand it.
Yeah.
Cool business, man. That's
I'm glad you understand. I'm glad you're on the same page. Yeah, it is super frustrating though, and the more frustrating part is, I mean, I guess there could be some inconsistencies shown, but I think that the immediate turn off for a lot of their audience will just be like, Nick is Not Green will be like, well, Turkey Tom said the N word, or like on Discord, like that, like they're gonna say that, and that's gonna be the whole meme.
Something that I would encourage you to, and it takes me a lot to get to this point, is you see that a lot, and if you make a video, you will see that, but there's two things happening that are really hard to see, and I promise they're happening. It took me a long time to see that these are happening. One is the fans are getting less allegiant, even if they're fighting still in that court, because these things do pile up, number one, and number two, there are people in the middle, there are people definitely in your fan base, and there are going to be some people in their fan base who are like, ooh, that actually is really shitty. It does happen every time, but it's important to start like a running track record of these things so that the things build momentum and continue to happen in the future if they fuck up. Because if nobody calls them out on this, then the next time something happens, who cares? But like, because let's say that this happens and it's like a, you know, it's a whatever thing, and their fan base doesn't care that much, but a little, if they fuck up again in the future, and then you do another accounting, there are going to be some people like, okay, like I think Nick is a good guy and blah, 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 but he does have a history of messing this up a little bit. I think he'd do better. And then if it happens a third time, that's like that type of building is what gets people to be like, okay, this is too much. Like I've seen this happen with outdoor content creators before. Even when it seems hopeless and it seems like their fan bases are cults, people do respond to this. It's just, it's very hard to see it sometimes.
Hopefully you're right. I mean, that is a little bit confidence inspiring, but I always just worry about with stuff like that. Like when I'm interacting with like these sort of lefty sock dem communities, like, you know, very Zoomerish type stuff. Like I just know how kids my age are and how they kind of treat this stuff. And it's like, I think a lot of opinions will be invalidated just based on like, you know, a screenshot or something like that. I always I don't know, worry about that.
Sure.
Like I'm sure you experienced that with like, you know, the old incest debate and whatever else. Like everyone just kind of invalidates everything you say based on a few old clips, and it
but just
sucks.
own it and go forward, and then it's not a weapon, okay? Their weapon can't be your armor, okay? So I just own it.
You're right.
I am racist. I do apologize for rape, and I hate women, and then boom, you just move on.
You're
Fuck,
right, but it's very just frustrating. It's just frustrating
is.
dealing with that, and it's like it makes
It is
me
frustrating.
reconsider. Like, man, I wish. Because I'm 21 right now. I started YouTube when I was like 14. It makes me be like, oh, I wish I could have been a little more careful. Not for the sake of like saving face, but like it just would have not allowed them to just have this instant little own, you know?
It's frustrating. You're letting out people random shits. So it's gonna take work no matter what. Even if it's perfect in history, there's still gonna be something that will get you related.
Well, he's cutting out.
Like it's difficult, but it can be done. It's just
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
You're just cutting out super bad, but anyways, have a good stream,
that's
buddy.
because your internet is right now. Love you. Be careful.
And if you liked this video, consider becoming a member. For $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts, unreleased videos, and the members-only Minecraft server. Thanks so much to all of my YouTube members who fund my content.